Baruch Hashem YAHUAH Bahashem Yahushua HaMashiach. Hallelujah. Shabbat Shalom. We're going to start off in Bereshit, or Genesis 1. We're going to go to verse 2, or the Aleph and the Bat. You can start at verse 1.
Bereshit 1 and 1. In the beginning, Elohim created the heavens and the earth. And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Ruach of Elohim moved upon the face of the waters.
Come. So that's Bereshit 1. So one person we're going to start off with here, we're going to start off with the Aleph Ba. With any language, before you can really learn words, you must know the different characters that are going to make up the different words. So give me a moment. And the thing about the Abarim is the letters, the characters don't only have meaning and make sounds, but they also are represented in a numerical way as well. So I'm going to give you both. One moment, y'all, one moment. Un momento, un momento.
How do you get the U?
Yeah, it's up there. The Zayin was missing.
The U is between the
The U.
Today There you go. Okay, let's get going. So the thing we're going to start off with, like I said, is the Aleph Ba. So as I say them, I want you all to repeat them to me. Some people are visual learners, some people learn by hearing, and some people learn by writing. So we want to make sure that we get everybody within that. So Aleph.
Aleph.
Aleph also will be represented as 1. Bat.
Bat.
Bat will be represented as 2. Gamal.
Gamal.
Dalet.
Dalet.
He.
He.
Ua.
Ua.
Zayin.
Zayin.
Hit. Or hit.
Hit.
Kat.
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 Top.
Ta.
Yard.
Yard.
So we're going to stop here. So from yard back to the Aleph, that's 1 through 10. The thing about the Abarim language is once you get to 10, instead of going 11, 12, 13, 14, it doesn't go like that. From there, it's going to go in multiples of 2 with double digits. So it's going to go from 10 to 20. So that's one thing to keep in mind. So like for instance, if you were going to write out the number 15 in Abarim, you would write out the yard and you write out the hay.
What that's Yah.
And that's Yah. So keep that in mind. So it's a numerical game as well, and that's a whole nother game. Not game, but that's a whole nother thing. So Kaf, Lamad, Ma'in, Nun, Samek, Ayin, Pe, Tesa, Kuf, Rash, Shin, Tu, Tau. So, from once we get to the Kuf though, because Tesa would be 90. So the Kuf, then we would go to hundreds. So once we would go to 100, we would go 200, 300, 400 for the last 4 characters. Okay. And so I wrote these out today so as we look at the sentences that we're going to go over, better sheet 1 and 2, we can be able to see how the words are formed based off of the characters. Excuse me. So, who remembers how to say what we did a few weeks ago? Any takers? Young Dwight, want to give it a shot?
Darn right I will. Barashik, Bara, Elohim, what is it? Ha Shamahim, Uwa, Ha
Khan. Clap it up for him. Round of applause. Okay, so let's all say it together. Barashit, Bara, Alahim, At, Hashemayim, Uat, Haaretz. Okay, everybody feel comfortable with that? Okay, so we know that means in the beginning created Elohim, beginning and the end of the heavens, and beginning and the end of the earth. Okay, so now we're going to go to Barashit 1 and 2. And read that for them again in the English.
Barashit, chapter 1, verse 2.
Tell them the other thing for those who don't know what's coming.
Genesis. The
Genesis.
Genesis.
On the phone. Always.
We had Genesis chapter 1 verse 2, or Barashit chapter 1 verse 2. And the earth, or the Aratz, was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Ruach of Elohim moved upon the face of the waters.
So, anybody want to give this a try before we go into it? Okay. So, I'm just going to say it one time. Haaretz, Haita, Tahu, Ubahu, Ukashak, Ol Ponim, Tahum, Uruach Alahim, Marakuf Al Poni Hamayim. Okay, so let's say it together. Haaretz, Haita, Tahu, Ubahu, Ukashak, Al Poni, Tahum, Uruach Alahim, Marakuf Al Poni Hamayim. So, breaking down the language. We have already understanding with the that when it is being used grammatically in sentence structure, it represents an and when it's at the beginning of the sentence. So and. So and then we know the ha or the he is the what? It represents the. Okay, so and the, we know aretz is earth. So how would we sound that out? We could go up here and look at the alaf. That's because that's what we're going to spell out aretz. So alaf, so we take the and then we go over here to the rash, and we take throw the ra in, so ar, and then the tasad. So aretz. Does that make sense? It doesn't make sense? Okay. So alaf. This is the first character that's used in aretz. So we're going to use the first part of this, which is the Then we're going to go and we're going to take the rash, because like it says, Re. So from right here, Ad. So the Aleph and the Resh. With a Rash right there. And then the Tesad right here. So we're going to do Aras.
Aras.
So do you see how the word is formed? Not necessarily the word meaning, but how we would pronounce it. So if you were to see different Hebrew words based off of you knowing the Aleph Ba, you would be able to piece together how the word would sound to a certain extent. Yes, I can.
So basically, you take whatever the first Hebrew word, you'll take like that first pronunciation, which is ah,
Mhm.
and then the R is ra,
Mhm.
and then the tasad is so aretz.
Yes.
So you'll put it together.
Put it all together and that forms the word. So for instance, let's go here. Anybody? So this one is high top. How do we know it's high top? We're going to go from here, from the hey,
Ha.
the ha, and then we're going to go to the yod, right here, ya. So, and then we're going to go to the ta, ta'u, which is here, and then we're going to go to the ha, once again. So, high ta. Does that make sense? As far as being able to see ha, yod, ta, u, ha. So high ta. So we just take the first part. Ha, high ta. Yod. So we do the ha, the ya, and then ta, and then the ha. So high ta. Does that make sense?
No, I ain't hearing the what's that, the y'all in there.
He's a hayat. He's saying it quick, but it's hayata. Hayata.
Okay.
He just saying it real quick.
It'll be smoother if you put like on top of the Hebrew the sound, so they can get the visual.
Kana.
Oh yeah.
And that's what I was actually meant to do. So
I wish you had a marks.
Oh, you got black?
My black's so ugly.
It's green.
yeah, black is dirty for whatever. Oh. Ooh. So, it's not right in the character again. So, ooh, ah, condom, orange. Right. English is like fast. But you still need to yeah, so does that have audits? I guess you need to write it backwards. Do y'all need me to write it backwards for you as far as the tasad? So you can be able to read it?
Oh, no.
Yeah, I don't. So then the ha. This looks so ugly.
Yeah, this is.
It's last time. Look at this time. Okay. Let's see if this helps. Now that we've done this. So, we left off here. Haita. Can y'all see that? Do you see how I would say haita? Okay. Which is without or was without. Tahu. Tahu means to be form, means form, like to have shape. So tahu, and then the and, which would be the u, and bahu, which means void. And then u, once again, so another u means and. Kashak, I see that, kashak, which means darkness. So say kashak.
Kashak. Kashak.
Which is darkness. All is over. And then, so all. Poni.
Poni.
Say poni.
Poni.
Okay, which means face. Say tahum.
Tahum.
Need group participation. Tahum.
Tahum.
Okay, which means deep. Waters, the deepness. And then u. Ruach.
Ruach.
Which means spirit. The Ruach of Elohim. The Ruach HaKadosh. So that's Ruach. And then Elohim.
Elohim.
Only God. Marakut.
Marakut.
Which means moved or to hover in some translations. Al. Which means over. Poni.
Poni.
Face. Ha.
Ha.
Which is the Maim.
Maim.
Okay, so let's put it all together. U haaretz.
Haaretz.
Haita.
Haita.
Tahu.
Tahu.
Ubahu.
Ubahu.
Ukashak.
Ukashak.
Al. Poni.
Poni.
Tahu.
Tahu.
Urua.
Urua.
Alahim.
Alahim.
Maraku.
Maraku.
Al. Poni.
Poni.
Hamaim.
Hamaim.
Anybody like to give it a try? Without. Yeah. Because we don't need that. That's gonna make. If you go through the only thing is when you go through the language and you try to use that above, it's gonna hinder you. I guarantee you.
But not when you first learn it though.
It will hinder you though, because you're gonna try to spell it out. You're gonna try to spell it out in the English, and you don't need that. Y'all are capable and y'all are able. Okay, you have to believe in yourself. I believe in you all. This is native to us. The more we see it, the more we practice it, the better off we're gonna be. Okay. So if you have to take your time sounding out the words from going up here, do that. There's nothing wrong with taking your time. I just want everybody to be able to get it, so then that way you're not handicapped. Oh, I need to. No, you need to get comfortable with pronouncing it and seeing this and this alone. Because this is what's native to us. Eventually we want to be able to get away from all of this, but we have to learn it piece by piece, word by word. But I want you to be able to look at any word in the Abarim and be able to, okay, these are the characters that make it up, and this is how I put it together. And the way that I pronounce it and write it out for you to speak it, you may not write it out that same way for yourself when you're at home if you're doing this by yourself. It's not going to happen. You may add something here, something there. So it's better to do it like this. But like I said, who wants to give it a try? Anybody? Okay.
I give it a try.
You give it a try, Akeem, too, now.
So you said time out. Oh no, I think it's U Haaretz. Hayata. Atu. Bahu.
Huh? Hold up, bring it back.
Oh. Ahu.
No,
Tahu.
Khan.
Okay, let's go back. Khan. It's U Haaretz. Hayata. Tahu. Bahu. Kashak. Al. Pani. Tahum. Tahum. Ruach. Elohim. Makapat. No, what is it? Marakut. Marakut.
No, you forgot the pa. Okay.
Marapak. No, Marakut. That's the pot. That's what got me. Look, no, I'm right here. It's like it's marak and then pot.
Yeah,
No, that's
that
marak.
could
You
be
gotta
good
put it
too.
together.
Wait,
Marakapat.
No, maraka.
Marakaf.
Because that P can
That
sometimes
P.
sound like
Yeah,
a what?
so it's
Phonetic.
Marakaf. Marakaf. Al Pani Ha Main.
Come on, Hakeem. Clap it up for me.
That one?
Yeah.
I still didn't know how you're gonna.
Yeah.
You don't have to spell it.
You gonna have to know. You gonna get it. You know it. Because look here.
Marakat.
Because sometimes, you saying because sometimes the pa makes a sound.
Bang, yeah, makes like an F sound. Like we have that in the quote unquote English.
Yeah, with a PH.
You know,
Marakat.
Okay.
Huh?
And so just a way to apply this to ourselves, it says, and the earth was without form and void, and darkness over the face of the deep.
No.
I know for me, when I see this, looking at it, we are made from the what? We are made from the earth. So before we had the spirit of Elohim in us, we were what? We were without form and void. We were empty. But we had, so he had to do what? He had to form us into beings. And then what did he do? And then it says, we would go over the face of the deep. In darkness, so there was nothing in us. It was emptiness. And the spirit, what happened that he then blew his breath into what? Into us. And his spirit of Elohim, which is the breath of life, moved over the face of the water. We know that what else goes into us being made? Water. Because one thing that we refer to as what? We're referred to as clay, and he's referred to as what? The potter. In order to mix so up and to get it to form and make shape, you have to add what to it? Water. In order to give it life, you have to what? You have to breathe breath into it. So that's it. So now let's do this one more time. Ha-aretz. Haita. Tahu. Ubahu. Ukasha. Al. Poni. Tahum. Urua. Alahim. Barakah. Al. Poni. Hamaim. Barakah. That's better sheet 1 and 2. Better sheet. Alaf and Ba.
And I know the number system to that is probably crazy.
To what? To this
Like you
sentence?
wanted to add, yeah.
You can add the numbers up. That's a whole nother.
Yeah, no, I was just saying that out loud.
But like just like you were saying, like with the yard is 10, and then the hay is 5. So yard hay is yah. 10 and 5, that's 15. That equals life. Yah is life. So you can go into the number and
break it down that way.
yeah, I know that's but
Con. Well, all right, y'all. Shalom.
Appreciate your service. You wanna work? You sitting up here because you wanna work?
I mean, hey.
Come on, little Stanley.
You got a card, bro?
You got a card? Yeah, I should do, man. Pamphlets and all those.
Oh, you got the pamphlets?
Mayor's coming too.
You got a Facebook and Instagram?
You got a link
The stuff he talking about, to be honest though, I mean, we could do them numbers and all that stuff and then parlay it, but we'll start doing that, y'all willing, in the near future.
And I know, like, for me, one thing that helps me with the numbers is when I keep my books for my business, on my end, when I write them down in the operating characters,
Yes.
just to be able to allow me to get used to seeing them and get familiar with them.
Absolutely.
And that's something simple that you can do.
Absolutely, because now what I'm referring to, the Adam, what you're talking about is, just like how you say we're gonna take that 10 and that 5, and you'll get Yah's life. So that means that we would have to take those numbers, and then we would have to go in the word for not only for you to also get a bearing of looking at that number, and then looking at this character over here, whatever that thing is.
Yeah, right there.
You know what I'm saying? And then when you see that, and boom, then actually give you a scriptural reference that would actually bring these numbers and these letters to life, where they would actually resonate in your brain. And then actually where you would look at them and see that you would want to imitate the said behavior from these numbers and these letters. Because if we know Yah is life, what's the only thing that's going to give us life? What did the Mashiach tell you in the 6th chapter of Yuchanan, the 6th chapter of John, the 63rd verse? What did he tell you was life? He said the word was life. He said it's the Ruach which make alive. The flesh profiteth nothing. The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life. So when you look at the Yod with this number 10, and then you look at the Hay with this number 5, then you will realize that the word is life. Then you will realize that if you don't have the Ruach of Mashiach in you, then there is no life. Matter of fact, since I said all of that, you go ahead and get John 6:63. You get Romans chapter 8 and about verse 7. Matter of fact, make it 5. And then, matter of fact, I had something in my head to deal with, but I'm just going to follow the track that he set up this afternoon. Just going to follow this track. Now, I'm going to ask y'all a question. Who remembers when he says, you know, I'm just going to speak it in English for those that's on here. He said the earth was without form and void, and darkness was over the face of the deep, and the Ruach of Elohim moved over the face of the water. Who remembers what that is?
in the grave?
Walking on water.
That's him walking on water. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, you got people that sit back and try to say that's the sun actually skipping over the ocean and skipping over the river. You know what I'm saying? I'm dead serious. Egyptologists, anybody who tries to distort the word, this is what they'll use to try to say this is dealing with astrology and other things. We have to know why Mashiach walked on water. See, it's another place in Psalms 89, 7. You get that Telahim 89, probably about verse 5, where we can see another place about him walking on water. See, the number one reason, we find Mashiach in this book for 2 reasons. Number one is for, well, I'll say 3 reasons. Number one is for you to believe that he is the anointed one and he is the son of the Most High Yah. That's first and foremost. Number 2, so you can see a pattern of behavior that you ought to imitate. And number 3, so you know why you believe what you believe and that nobody could come. See, the man told you, if you hear my words, I will liken you to a man who built his house on a rock. He said, if you don't hear my word, I will liken you to a man who built his house on sand. So if you don't sit back and you're not actually soaking in what we doing when we navigate and pinpoint this man and his word, then a sinful individual who does not believe in Mashiach can ask you certain questions and they'll have you doubting, and the next thing you know, you're talking about gods and goddesses and Egyptians and you around here pole dancing and smoking crack and whatever the case may be. Why you laughing though? At the same time being dead serious, because the line of going from a Kadeshim to a reprobate is about this thin. It's very thin. It don't take much to push you to one side to the other. You know what I'm talking about? This is why he said, give me Telahim 101 for you do that. Just give me Telahim. We'll do that. 101. We'll do that right there. This is why I tell y'all this here. This is why the line is so thin. This is why we talk about sanctifying yourself. That's one of the things we're going to look at when we look at about that Leviticus 19 to 27. Because one of the things most of the laws, and I've told y'all this before, most of the laws that are in our Torah is because the people who were in the land, they were doing those things. And he was telling us, don't you do what they do. See, they were in the land packing booty holes. You know what I'm saying? Sleeping with their mama, sleeping with their daddy, sleeping with their sister, sleeping with their kids, sleeping with a woman on her period. They were doing all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like when he tell you don't deal with divination and witchcraft and all that type of stuff, that's what they were doing. He was telling you, you're not going to do that. I've severed you from amongst other people that you could be mine. So then you have to sit back and look at that in your servitude to Yah. He is cutting you off from other people that you can be his. This is why he tell you, why are you mingling with the people of the land? Why are you doing this? Because what they're going to end up doing, this is what they're going to do. They're going to pull you. Yeah. They're going to pull you. They're going to pull you. That's why he said don't make no marriages with their daughters. They'll cause you to stop following me. You know what I'm saying? He ain't never told you couldn't have no dealings with no Gentile. He said don't fool with them because they serve another God. And because they serve another God, you going to end up serving. It's just that simple. Yet let you be in the word, go date a Jehovah's Witness. I bet you be in the Kingdom Hall. I bet you be in the Kingdom Hall. You know what I'm talking about? Go find you old a Muslim. Talking about that's your homeboy. I bet you be at the mosque on St. John's Bluff. Talking about this Juma. You know what I'm saying? It happens. It happens. It happens all the time. You know what I'm talking about? Nigga on Rasta. Next thing you know, you smoking weed. Talking about Rastafari. Calling on a man. Haile Selassie is a man. Who, when the things got real, when the Italians came through in World War II and ran through Ethiopia, that nigga fled. He didn't stay there to defend his people, he left. He went somewhere in Europe, high and not, came back when it was over with. Come on, sir.
Psalms 1 and 1.
Say it like you mean.
Psalms 1 and 1. Happy are those who reject the advice of evil people.
Whoa, reject who?
reject the advice of evil people who do not follow the example of sinners or join those who have no use for Elohim.
Why? What else? What else? What he told you to do though?
Instead, they find joy in obeying the law of Yahuwah.
What else?
And they study it day and night. They are like the trees that grow beside the
They like a what?
They are like the trees that grow beside the stream.
They like a what?
They are like the trees that grow beside the stream.
Now sit back and look at it, right? A tree going by the stream, and we talking about the Ruach of Elohim is moving over the face of the water. And he say those who meditate on this law and walk in it and reject, because in y'all version it's going to say blessed are those that take not the counsel of the ungodly, right? Then it say blessed are those that stand not in the way of sinners or sit in the seat of the scornful. So he's sitting here telling you, you would be Baruch if you didn't listen or take the recommended course of action from a transgressor. Then he would say you would be Baruch if you didn't even go where sinners go. Then he said you would even be even more increased if you didn't sit in the seat of mockers. Since I said that, just bear with me. Then he say, but blessed are those who obey his law and think on it. You understand what I'm telling you? That means that when you meditate on something and you think upon something, you know what ends up happening? See that YAHUAH 26:3 comes into play. You know what I'm saying? I keep you in perfect shalom whose mind is stayed on thee because they trust in me. You know what I'm saying? See, when you meditate on this word day and night, you're actually showing that you trust and believe what he says, and that's where your hope lies. Like we were talking about last night with that hope. That's where your hope lies. And see, even though you can't see it, you will, with patience, you will wait for it. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling y'all, and I'm not telling y'all this for no reason, the number one hindrance why people don't get the man's spirit, why they don't have no power with the man, why they can't make any single solitary move is because you do not believe. You know what I'm talking about? Now look here, right? Learning all this language is great. Finding Mashiach in all in them places is great. Keeping the man's law is great, but you'll go to hell, you ain't got no faith. Straight up and down. You're going to go straight to hell. Because if you actually believe, then you're going to do what it say because you believe in the reward, even though you can't see it. Because you can't see New Jerusalem. That man say he will make a city that has streets that look like straight, transparent glass made out of pure gold. You can't fathom that in your brain. Ain't now one of us sitting in a room can say, I can see pure gold that look like transparent glass. You can't picture that in your mind. You know what I'm talking about? So you with patience, you waiting for that. You can't actually see eternal life. You've never seen it. You know what I'm saying? You've never seen anybody come up out the grave and live forever. You have never seen that. That's why he say, Baruch are those who have not seen and yet believed. You know what I'm saying? You ain't seen none of these things. You did not see that man get up out that grave. You did not see that man show you his hands. You didn't see that man show you his side. You didn't see any of that. You know what I'm talking about? So this stuff got to be ingrained in your heart, that you got to have the same mind that he had, that he was willing to walk, be spit on, be beaten, had his hair plucked out, all that knowing, I'm going to get up. You got to be willing the same way Abraham sat back and say, I will leave my father's house and I will go into a place where I know not and do it. You would have to believe if Yahuwah say you'll have a seed that will be greater than all the stars in Shammahim, and you can number and go past all the sand on the sea. You would have to believe that if you trusted in him. You know what I'm saying? Because what messes a lot of people up is they trust in themselves. That's why he say the heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? The word say if you trust in your heart, you are a fool. What the world tell you? Trust in your heart. Go with your gut. Trust your heart if you want it. You know what heart you're supposed to trust? The book say you're supposed to have the heart of Mashiach. You're supposed to trust that. So if you ain't got his mind, what you trusting, you's a fool. We can't go out like that. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to get caught up in no vain worship, where you just doing stuff for the sake of doing it. You want to do it because you know there's a reward for your obedience. There's a reward for your faith. That's why he say without faith, without amunah, that strict, that firmness, that adherence, he says it's impossible to please him. You will never be able to please the man if you don't believe. You know what I'm saying? That's the number one thing. People ask, well, how you know what you know? Well, you wasn't baptized yet. How you get? Because I believe. The man said, I believe, therefore I have spoken. You know what I'm talking about? You can't get nothing like that if you don't believe. You ain't read nobody in this book that got a test of Hamashiach and they didn't believe. You got Peter standing in front of the man and say, who men say I am? He say, man, who you say I am? Well, he say, well, you the son of the living Elohim. He say, well, Baruch are you, Peter? Simon Bar-Jonah. He say, flesh and blood ain't revealed this to you, but my Father did. Why? Because he believed. He already knew what the scripture said. Did they believe everything? No. Because they didn't even know the scriptures say that this man would resurrect from the dead. They didn't have an understanding. But they knew what the book said and they believed it. They were waiting on it. That was their hope. They never knew when Mashiach was going to come. But they were waiting for it though. You know what I'm saying? That's what you got, the mind you got to have. Come on, son.
They are like the trees that grow beside a stream. They bear fruit.
That bear what?
They bear fruit.
That bear what?
They bear fruit.
Come on.
At the right time. And whose leaves do not dry up. They succeed in everything they do. But no evil people are not like this at all.
Say sinners ain't like this at all.
They are like straw that the wind blows away.
Wind blows away.
Sinners will be condemned by Elohim and kept apart from Elohim's own people. The righteous are guided and protected by Yahuwah, but the evil are on the way to their doom.
Now go back about 3 verses and tell me what I said again. Son, it came to my head.
They are like the trees that grow beside a stream.
Now you see key thing he said, now he like, what I got you holding us down?
Psalms 89.
Psalms 89, go get me Revelation 22 and 1. He said those that are in Mashiach are like trees that grow by a stream. Now you know he said, I am the branch and ye are the branches, which means you would be a tree by a stream. He also said they would bear fruit, which goes along with what we were talking about last night about adding to your faith virtue, adding to your faith knowledge, adding to your faith temperance, adding to your faith brotherly kindness, adding to your faith love. These are things you're supposed to be adding to bring forth fruit. You don't add these things, you would be barren. You would be like them dry leaves he talking about because you would be a transgressor. You know what I'm talking about? This is what he's sitting back looking at about the waters moving on the face of the deep, which we read out last night in Ezekiel 37 when they say our hope is dried up. See, their hope was dried up because they ain't had no ruach. They ain't had life in them. You know what I'm saying? So that goes back to what? They ain't had no ruach in them. They ain't had life in them. Then what do we go back here? We go back to the yard and the hay. The 10 and the 5, the 15. Yard's life. They ain't had no word in them.
Hey, man. Get me doing that.
They ain't gonna hurt nothing. I don't punch that hard.
All right, when people come in and say something, then you're gonna be,
Hey, they gonna come on in.
yeah, all right.
They be all right. They can get some word too. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying? But sit back and listen to what I'm telling you though. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no life in you, which means ain't no word in you. That word got to be in you. You just can't be sitting here actively listening. You got to be hearing. Because you know when you're hearing, then you'll think upon it. When you think upon it, it's going to resonate in you. It's going to direct your path. It's going to move how you're going to move. You're not going to make the same mistakes. You're not going to have bad judgment. You know, that's the problem with most people dealing with this word. Their judgment is off. The book says you're supposed to have a just weight and a just balance. He said a false balance is an abomination. So that means your judgment is off. You got bad judgment. You are offensive to Yah. Straight up and down. If you sit back and you look at a matter and you judge it off the flesh, that's an abomination. You know what I'm saying? That's an abomination. He said nothing abominable will enter into the gates of that city. So that means that's how tight this is. You know what I'm saying? This is not a game. Come on, sir.
And he showed me a pure river of waters of life, clear as crystals, proceeding out of the throne of Yahuwah.
Go ahead.
And of the Lamb.
Who knows? Hold on. Who knows what we can look at in the prophets just for informational purposes? Where we can see water coming out of a throne. It's 2 places. Ezekiel is 1. That's the 47th chapter. Who knows the other place? Anybody know the other place where you see water? Where you see water come? It ain't Isaiah 2, but it's talking about throne though. But that's not Isaiah 2. It would be Zechariah the 14th chapter. Right when he was talking about when Mashiach coming back. He said he see a throne and water coming up out that throne. So we sit back and look at, you would see water. If we sit back and see water coming out of the throne of Yahuwah, then what would we think about then?
Water coming out of the rock.
Not just the water coming out of the rock. Sit back and think about it. What's the throne of Yahuwah? What can we go back and look at the law to put together with the throne of Yahuwah? The mercy seat. So what was the mercy seat on top of? The Ark of the Covenant. And wouldn't that would be water coming out of Mashiach then, wouldn't it? Because he the covenant, right? He the one who carried the covenant. He the one who carried life. He's showing water issuing out of him. You know what I'm talking about? So we sit back and look. That's why he tells you to come unto me and drink. So when you read about the Ark of the Covenant and you look at certain things, you're supposed to sit back and look at, this is where you're supposed to be tasting from. This is where the eminence of life come from. Because what was inside the Ark of the Covenant? Nothing but the 2 tables of stone. And instead of those 2 tables, the law be written on 2 tables of stone, they written on fleshly tables of the heart. That's what you got to go from. That thing got to go from being outside on a piece of paper and inside your heart. That's where it's got to go from. It's got to go from being right here, right this here, to where it's with you everywhere you go. I done told you a story, man. I used to preach in the street, and I had that same backpack, that big old family Bible in it, and I used to try to want to pull it out. And something just come to my mind. He said, well, you can't pull that book out, boy. He said, well, that thing got to be in you, boy. He said, what if you can't pull no book out? You got to drop it. I'll tell you what to say. Don't go in that bag and go for this book. That take too much time. Because you got to take the time to take it out, open it up, all that. You know what I'm saying? He said, well, that thing got to be in you, boy. You know what I'm saying? It's got to be in you. You got to sit back and look at it. It's got to be in you. When it's in you, it will direct your path, just like the words say. When he say you then meditate on it, and that Yahushua 1 and 9, he say meditate on the words of this law and you will have good success. You wonder why you ain't having good success because you're not meditating on the word. It's not in your heart. We ain't talking about good success naturally. We talking about success with your king. That's what we after. Come on, sir.
In the midst of the street of it, and on either side of the river,
What's in that? What's on the street then?
was there the tree of life,
Oh man.
which bare 12 manner of fruits,
Oh man.
and yielded her fruit every month. And the leaves of the tree were for the healing of the nations.
Healing of the nations. You know, that's a twofold thing for us. Obviously, you would know the first fold because that's what you do for a living. That would let us know that the things that come off the trees of the earth are for the healing of the people. You know what I'm saying? I was just looking at something that she like to do with the vaginal beads, and I heard people talking bad about. They were talking bad. Most of them were OBGYNs and all that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And one person was like, "So you mean to tell me that I ought to listen to you over herbs which God made?" This is what a woman said on there, because all of them, you don't need that stuff. Your uterus clean itself out, all this type of stuff. It just was one person. But that's the type of mind frame that these people done gave us, that anything that's natural that come from Yahuwah. Because if it come from a tree, right, it's got life in it, right? So guess what that would mean? Yah, hey, Yah is life. So anything that he made for that purpose is going to bring forth life. How you going to tell me a herb from Yah is not going to give me life? That's not going to be beneficial to my body, which he made for that purpose. That's how we got to be on top of this stuff and look at it. That's why you don't take the counsel of sinners. That's why you don't listen to them. That's why you don't follow them. They'll tell you to speak against your God. It's just, I'm talking about just that small, somebody agree with that, you just sin. Oh yeah, you're right, you need the herbs. You just sin, just that fast. You know what I'm saying? Well, you don't realize how tight this thing is, man, how serious it is. That's why you say every idle word you speak, you don't give account for. You got to know what you're talking about before you open your mouth. And you got to know who you're talking to and who you're listening to. Come on, finish that song.
I finished the whole song.
No, I mean, read that part again, what the center part. This something came to my mouth.
They are like trees that grow beside a stream. They bear fruit at the right time.
At the right time. You know what the right time for you to bear fruit? When you went in that water and came back up, that's the time you need to bear fruit. That goes back to what we were talking about last night with Adam, meaning what? First from the ground. First from the ground. And what was Hamashiach? What was it? When he rose from the dead, what was it? He was first fruit, first from the ground. He bare fruit at the right time. 3 days, 3 nights. He bare fruit at the right time. Now you need to sit back and look at, you need to be in Mashiach, bearing fruit at the right time. Come on, sir.
And whose leaves do not dry up.
They don't dry up.
They succeed in everything they do.
They succeed in everything they do.
But evil people are not like this at all.
He say sinners ain't like this at all.
They are like the straw that the wind blows away.
They like the straw that the wind blow away. Troy, give me Matthew 3 and give me an 8. He said they like the straw that the wind blow away. Stanley, you could get me Hebrews 6. Is that Hebrews 6? Yeah, it is. Hebrews 6, man, 5 verse 6. Finish the whole thing out there.
All right. Sinners will be condemned by Elohim and kept apart from Elohim's own people. The righteous are guided and protected by Yahuwah, but the evil are on the way to their doom.
That man say he gonna keep sinners away from his people. That's why he say nothing abominable will enter into the city. Baruch to those that keep his commandments, that they may have right to enter in the gates of the city, that they might have right to the tree of life. You just sit back and look at that. The whole key thing about this whole book is you have a sanctified Elohim, a sanctified power. We have to be like that too. Because he's not, you don't even sit back and realize the Father's not even going to come and dwell on Iraq, on the earth, till every sinner is killed and extinguished. He will not even step on this place. You know what I'm talking about? In no manner of uncleanliness, this man utterly refuses to have any part of it, have any of it in his essence. Why are we not following that same pattern of behavior? That's what the man who you say is your father, who you pray to in the name of Yahushua, is not going to step on the earth till all sinners are extinguished and all manner of uncleanliness is destroyed. He refuses to dwell in that. We're supposed to refuse to dwell in it too. Come on, sir. 3 and 8.
Now to Yahu, Matthew 3 and 8. Bring forth therefore fruits meet for repentance.
That means that anything, if you say you repent and bring forth some action to show that that's no longer your pattern of behavior, like we were talking about last night. When that man sat back and he cracked the men upside their head, he said, boy, I will offend. He said, I have offended, I shall offend no more. Teach me what I ought to do. After you done received that chastisement, you're not going to offend anymore. You're going to show forth fruits, meet for repentance. No longer walking that course of behavior because you want to be approved of Yah. You don't want to be approved of man. He said, how can you believe that seek honor one from another, not the honor that comes from Elohim only? That's our problem. We worry about men honoring you, but yet Elohim is displeased with you. Come on.
Bring forth therefore fruits meet for repentance.
Yes, sir.
And think not to say within yourselves, we have Abraham to our father. For I say unto you that Elohim is able of these stones to raise up the children unto Abraham. And now also the axe is laid unto the root of the trees.
Axe is laid to the root of the trees.
Therefore every tree which brings not forth good fruit,
what are you going to do with it?
It is hewn down and cast into the fire.
You're going to sit back and bring forth some rotten fruit. He's going to cut you down and burn you. Come on.
I indeed immerse you with water unto repentance.
What am I going to immerse him with, though?
But he that comes after me is mightier than I, whose shoes I am not worthy to bear. He shall immerse you with the Ruach HaKodesh and with fire.
You know what that fire is? That's chastisement and affliction and rebuke. Who can take it? Who can stand it? Who can be made pure? You know what I'm saying? Who, when they set to the fire, that all the impurities will be removed. Come on.
Whose fan is in his hand.
Is what's in his hand?
Whose fan is in his hand.
Well, what did David just say about them sinners there is what they were going to happen to them? What did he say was going to happen?
They was going to blow like a straw.
They were going to blow like a straw. Fan in his hand. Get him out of here. Come on.
He will thoroughly purge his floor.
He going to purge his floor.
And gather his wheat unto the garner.
So you know what happened when you purge the floor? I got to get the bad out. That's just what that said in Psalms, didn't it? I got to get the bad out. You ain't got to get Hebrews 6. We don't need that. I got to get the bad out. Come on with that John 6 and 63, Stanley. You can get the John 6 and 63. I got to get the bad out, and then there's you can get the Psalms 89 and 5, which he had to start with. We have to sit back and look at that. There's a purging going on. I was talking about this morning. There will be a great falling away. It's already occurring. It's already occurring. Before the son of perdition, the man of sin is revealed, there will be a great falling away. People will fall away from the word. These things must be. You have to sit back and guard yourself, make sure you're not one of them. You know what I'm talking about? You got to make sure you're not one of them. Because I'm telling you, when the rubber hit the road and the thing hit the fan, boy, y'all going to see some stuff y'all never thought y'all were going to see for your life. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody killing us about no word yet. Right now, you didn't worry about people talking trash about you. Ain't nobody throwing us in jail for this word yet. I know y'all read about that stuff and you think it's a game. That man said they love their own lives even unto death. They love not their own lives even unto death. How many of y'all willing to stand up and be like, boy, I'm ready to die for this? Like, literally. Nigga got the yapper straight to your face like, boy, deny him. You like this here, boy, you going to have to pull that trigger, bro. I'm talking about throw you in jail. Peter was in jail, he rejoiced. Paul was in jail, he rejoiced. How many of y'all got that type of faith and fortitude? How many of y'all going to fold up? You like, boy, I don't know nothing about no Yahudim. I don't know nothing about that. Come on, sir.
John 6 and 63.
What'd he tell you?
It is the Ruach that quickens.
It make alive, right? What else?
The flesh profits nothing.
And anything that's of the flesh ain't going to get no gain from that. He just told you that in Elohim, didn't it? Come on.
The words that I speak unto you,
what are they?
They are Ruach and they are life.
I had to ask for that Romans 8 and 5. Come on with that, Troy. Let me get that Romans 8 and 5 first. He said the words that he speak are
Ruach.
10. Yeah, you good. You say it again.
Are Ruach and they are life.
Yah, hey, 15, 10 and 5. Yah is life. Yah is life. Yah is life. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you mentioning that number. I put that in my head to work that like that. So we appreciate you, sir. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, Troy.
Romans 8 and 5. For they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh.
Don't you realize that? That those that are carnal mind the things that are carnal. Y'all don't realize that? All you got to do is sit back and watch. Hold on. Stanley, get 1 John 4 and 1. Go ahead, though, Troy.
For they that are after the flesh do mind things that are of the flesh. But they that are after the Ruach, the things of the Ruach.
So if you mind the things that, because the Ruach is the breath of Elohim. He breathed into Adam and made him a living soul. He said the second Adam was made of quick and ruach. Yah is life. Yahuwah is life. So if you are the things, if you after Yahuwah, you would mind the things that pertain to life. You would mind the things that pertain to his word. You would judge accordingly. You would walk accordingly. You would believe accordingly. If that is your objective. You know what I'm saying? The word tell you that, man. Knowledge puff up and love edify. Love instructs. We're supposed to be instructed in the way of writing. That's what he said. All scripture is given by inspiration of Elohim, which is profitable for doctrine, for correction, for reproof, for instruction in righteousness, that the man of Elohim might be made perfect. That's the whole purpose why we do this. Come on, sir.
Let's continue. Yes, sir. It say, for they that are after the Ruach, the things of the Ruach. For to be carnally minded is death.
To be carnally minded is death.
But to be spiritually minded is life and shalom. Because the carnal mind is enmity against Elohim, for it is not subject to the Torah of Elohim.
You know what the word enmity means, everybody? Y'all know what that word means?
Like against.
It means hatred. Remember he said, I set enmity between the serpent seed and the woman's seed. You know what I'm talking about? The children of Yah and the children of the devil can't never meet in agreement. How is that possible? That's not possible. That's why he said, those that are born of Elohim do not commit sin. He said, those that commit sin are the seed of the devil. He's saying, this are manifested sons of Yah and the sons of the devil. They can't meet in agreement. If they meet in agreement, our law is a lie. You know what I'm saying? If they meet in agreement, our law is a lie. Because that's what Genesis, Bereshit 3 and 15 say. I will set enmity between the serpent seed and the woman's seed. So there's no way in the world Hamashiach seed should ever make an agreement with the devil's seed. Unless that only means one thing. Somebody of the devil's seed along with it. Come on.
For it is not subject, one second. For to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and shalom. Because the carnal mind is enmity against Elohim.
Whatever.
For it is not subject to the Torah of Elohim.
Go ahead.
Neither indeed can be.
He said anybody that's carnal minded can never be subject to the word. It's not possible. Go ahead.
So then they that are in the flesh cannot please Elohim.
Anybody who carnal can't please Elohim. Flesh and blood can't inherit the kingdom of Elohim. You got to become Ruach. He said those that worship him in Ruach and in truth. Elohim is a Ruach. He is a spirit. That means you got to become spirit. That means you got to have his mind. He got to be in you. Come on.
But ye are not in the flesh.
You not in the flesh. Why they not in the flesh, Paul?
But you are in the Ruach.
How they got in the Ruach, Paul?
If so be that the Ruach of Elohim dwell in you.
Oh, man. They so be the Ruach of Elohim dwell in you, so you know what that means. See, and the earth was without form and void. So he said when you were carnally minded, you were void, and darkness was over the face of your whole body. Until the Ruach Elohim moved over the water. Because see, we can look at in certain places where the word waters will be representative of the people. You know what I'm saying? Come on.
But ye are not of the flesh.
You not of the flesh. Why is that?
Ruach.
Of the Ruach.
If so be that the Ruach of Elohim dwell in you. Now if any man have not the Ruach of Hamashiach.
Hold on, say it so they can hear.
Now if any man have not the Ruach of Hamashiach, he is none of his.
He said, you not of me. He said, man, my sheep hear my voice and they follow me. He said, you hear me not because you not of my flock as I have told you.
And if the Hamashiach be in you, the body is dead because of sin.
Now what that mean if Hamashiach be in you, the body is dead because of sin? We talked about this last week. What would that mean? Who can remember what we looked at last week when it comes to that? If Hamashiach be in you, the body is dead because of sin. Y'all remember what we looked at on that? Y'all remember we looked at Numbers 23. He said, let me die the death of the righteous that my end might be like his. That means when you went in that water, you sat back and said, my body is dead because of sin, because Hamashiach died because of sin to remove it. But it ended up being life because he lived under Elohim when he got out the grave. That's what you're supposed to realize. Sin's supposed to stop when you get in that water. That stuff supposed to be dead. Ain't even supposed to be no thought of sin. Ain't even supposed to be no movement to go do it. Come on. You all right?
Okay, it say, and if Hamashiach be in you, the body is dead because of sin.
Yep.
But the Ruach is life because of righteousness.
Life, and you know what that righteousness is? Didn't we read about that last night about adding that virtue of that righteousness to your faith? That means the body is dead because of sin, but you have life because you believe on him, as the scripture have said. Out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water, because you meditated on his law day and night. And you ended up being that tree that was by the waters, bringing forth fruit in its time. You know what I'm saying? When you came up out that water, that was supposed to be the beginning of you bringing forth fruit to eternal life. That was supposed to be the beginning of that. You got to sit back and understand really that that wasn't no vain ritual. That wasn't something that you just were doing just to be doing. That was something that you was doing to be representative of a way of living. Something representative of a mentality, a lifestyle, so to speak. That at the end of the day, you can stand in front of this man with white robes on and a palm in your hand. Come on, sir.
But if the Ruach of him that raised up Yahushua from the dead dwell in you, he that raised up Hamashiach from the dead shall also quicken your mortal bodies by his Ruach that dwells in you.
That's what you got to sit back and look at. That's how Yahuwah is life, because the word would be in you. That's how Yahuwah is life, because the word would be in you. You understand what I'm telling you? This is why the man said you were without form and void. You had nothing. What I got you?
1 John 4.
1 John chapter 4. 1 Yuchanan 4. The first epistle of Yuchanan, or John, the 4th chapter. Pick me up at the first verse.
Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits whether they are from Yahuwah, because many false prophets are going.
Now this ain't even just talking about no preachers. You supposed to try everybody to see if they're Yah or not. Everybody's not of Elohim. That man say he knows those that are his. He say he knows, but then the Mashiach say he knows them that are his. So you're supposed to be able to spot those that belong to him too. Come on.
Hereby know ye the Ruach of Yahuwah. Every Ruach that confesses that Yahushua HaMashiach is coming to the flesh is of Yahuwah.
Yes, sir.
And every Ruach that confesses not that Yahushua HaMashiach is coming in the flesh is not of Yahuwah.
Yes, sir.
And this is the Ruach of Antichrist.
Yes, sir.
Whereof ye have heard that it should come, and even now already is it in the world.
What else?
Ye are of Yahuwah.
You are who? Now say it like it's read. It's going to say Elohim. You got to put his name in there. Sometimes you got to always call the name. Because sometimes when it got Elohim in there, because it's making him representative of both of them.
Ye are of Elohim, little children, and have overcome them.
Overcame them.
Because greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world.
Ain't that's what Psalms 1 telling us? Greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. Which goes back to, give me Deuteronomy chapter 7:6. Hold on, just stay where you at. Give me Deuteronomy 7:6. Make it 7 and 1. He say, greater than he that is in you than he that is in the world. I'm going to show you where it's coming from. Because we finna talk about the people who were in the world and how y'all just sat back and said, y'all greater than them. Because of him. Not because of you, but because of him. Come on.
Yahuwah your Elohim will bring you into the land that you are going to occupy, and he will drive many nations out of it. As you advance, he will drive out 7 nations larger and more powerful than you.
And this is going to tie into what I was talking about, why some of them laws in there. He said he going to drive out 7 nations greater than you. Who are those nations, sir?
Hittites.
The Hittites?
The Hittites. The
Perizzites?
The Gershites.
The Girgashites?
The Gershites. The Amorites.
The Amorites.
The Canaanites.
The Canaanites.
The Perizzites.
The Perizzites.
The Hivites.
The Hivites.
And the
Jebusites.
When Yahuwah your Elohim places these people in your power and you defeat them, you must put them all to death. Do not make.
He said when he put them in where?
When Yahuwah your Elohim places these people in your power and you defeat them.
He said greater is he that, he said you overcome them because greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. Ain't that something? Come on.
You must put them all to death. Do not make an alliance with them or show them.
He said don't make no alliance with them. What else?
Or show them any mercy. Do not marry any of them, and do not let your children marry any of them. Because then they would lead your children away from Yahuwah to worship other gods. If that happens, Yahuwah will be angry with you and destroy you at once. So then tear down their altars, break their sacred stones, pillars, and pieces.
That's why we don't serve none of their gods. Tear it down. Mess with no Muslim. Don't mess with no Rasta. Ain't messing with no Santeria. Ain't messing with no Christian. Tear it down. Come on.
Cut down their symbols of the goddess Assyria and burn their idols.
Guess what? Burn your crosses. Burn your Jesus pieces. burn your crescent and your moon, burn it all up. Come on.
Do this because you belong to Yahuwah, your Elohim.
You belong to Yah.
For all the peoples on earth, he chose you to be his own special people. Yahuwah did not love you and choose you because you outnumbered other peoples. You were the smallest nation on earth. But Yahuwah loved you and wanted to keep the promise that he made with your ancestors. That is why he saved you by his great might and set you free.
He saved you by what?
By his great might.
And did what?
And set you free.
Come on, read it. Go finish it out then.
Set you free from slavery to the king of Egypt.
Ooh, he set you free from the devil.
Remember, Yahuwah your Elohim is the only Elohim in that he is faithful.
He's what?
He is faithful.
He's what?
He is faithful. He will keep his covenant and show his consistent love to 1,000 generations of those who love him and obey his commandments.
That's good. Read that 1 John 4:4 again, Stanley. Ain't that something that's exactly what Yuchanan, the Apostle Yuchanan said? Word for word. We can go right in the law, see where he got it from.
Ye are of Elohim, little children,
That's not what he just said.
and have overcome them.
Is that not what he just said?
Because greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world.
Is that not what he just said? So that leads us to do one thing. The Ruach of Mashiach must be in us. We can overcome these. We're supposed to be greater than these people. He said, I set you above all nations. Now we sit back and we say we in Yahuwah. How can we not be above these people? We're supposed to overcome these people. Come on.
They are of the world, therefore speak they of the world.
Oh, they are what?
They are of the world, therefore speak they of the world.
That's all the Canaanites had to talk about, wasn't it?
And the world hears them.
The world him.
We are of Elohim. He that know Elohim hears us.
You know that's up. Go right back to my sheep hear my voice and they follow me. He said, you're not of my flock as I have told you. That's what he told him. Give me John, Troy, give me John 8 about 44. That might be a little too high, but we'll work it down. Don't you sit back and realize that? That's why he told us not to fool with them people. Because them people going to come talking about their gods. You know what I'm saying? Only people who worship their gods going to hear that. Those that are of Elohim, they will reject that. Because they going to know you not of my God. I don't want nothing to do with you, nigga. You know what I'm talking about? Come on, sir.
Yehukanan 8:44. Ye are of your father, the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him.
Ain't no word in it. So if ain't no truth in him, we know the law is truth, right? And the words that you speak, he speak is Ruach and the truth. So that means there it again. Yah, hey, Yahuwah was not in the devil. That's why he say those that commit sin are the devil, because the word ain't in them. He told them that my word has no place in you. Come on.
When he speaks a lie, he speaks of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it.
He's a liar and the father of it.
And because I tell you the truth, you believe me
He
not.
say, 'Cause I tell you the truth, you don't believe me.
Which of you convinces me of sin?
Go ahead.
And if I say the truth, why do you not believe me?
What else he told him?
He that is of Elohim shall hear Elohim's word.
Say it again.
He that is of Elohim shall hear Elohim's word.
One more time.
He that is of Elohim shall hear Elohim's word.
And what did the Mashiach say after that?
Ye therefore hear them not, because ye are not of Elohim.
Say it again.
You therefore hear them not, because ye are not of Elohim.
You wonder why people don't catch it. You wonder why people don't hold it in their heart. Because he say you not of Elohim in the first place. He say those that are of Elohim, they going to hear his words. And you know what happened? Faith come by hearing, and hearing come by the word of Elohim. You're going to store the man word up in your heart. You're going to live by it. The just live by Amunah. The just live by faith. The just are the blameless. Blameless individuals going to walk by faith. That's why he say we walk by faith and not sight. He say if you don't hear the word, you're not of God, period. That's not how I feel. That's what the master say. That's what the master say. That's why I told y'all that last night. It just was funny because we just sit back and think about it. It's a lot of people ain't around no more. I'm talking about people y'all, long for y'all even came around, like niggas been fell off. Because the word ain't had no place in it. Go ahead.
Then answered the Yahudim and said unto him, Say we not well that you are a Shamanite, a Sumerian, and have a devil?
Ain't that something? He dropped the word on him. They told him he was a Gentile and a devil. Come on.
Yahusha answered, I have no devil. I honor my father, and you dishonor me. I seek not my own esteem.
Mm-hmm.
There is one that seeks and judge.
Mm-hmm.
Truly, truly, I say unto you,
What he told me?
if a man keep my saying, he shall never see death.
Never. Oh man. If a man keep my word, and the word that I speak unto you are ruach and our life, y'all, hey. See, praise y'all. You see how we can take this stuff, man? That's why I'm telling you, if y'all just be patient, a couple things pop off, we'll have a nice little spot, and then we'll be able to go through this stuff so in-depthly that your brain gonna spin. You know what I'm talking about? Because we can sit back and we can take all these numbers and all these letters, and I'm talking about, and deal with it just like how Corey did it, how it's supposed to be done. You learning the characters, because I believe in that fully anyway. Before we start dealing with anything, you need to know the characters first. Then once you know the characters, then you can begin to start spelling the word, and then you can begin to start speaking the word in English. Everything is a process. If you do it in the proper process, we'll never have to go back and redo nothing. You know what I'm saying? We'll never have to beat twice and do nothing. We'll never have to do that. All we got to do is just take our time and just learn that. And then learn that, do it just like this here. That's why y'all will, till we be able to do that, we'll have Corey here do a verse each week in the same fashion and same pattern. You know what I'm talking about? So y'all can be able to catch it. And then we start dealing with the deeper things that are in these things, because each one of these characters means something. You know what I'm saying? Each one of these characters means something. Each one of these numbers means something. So if we sit back, look just like how we looking at just dealing with these two letters, dealing with the Yah with a numerical value of 10 and the Hey with a numerical value of 5, we able to sit back and see how Yah is like when we look in the word. Then it should resonate in your brain. Then it should also increase your faith. And then it should also move you to want to have that in you. To have Yah, Hey, or have Yahuwah in you. Have the word in you. The only way you're going to be able to have life is if the word is in you. If it's not in you, you don't have life. That's why he said the same word, or the ruach that quickened the Mashiach will quicken you. That's what rose him up from the dead. The word was in it. When the word is not in you, then you're without form and your voice in your darkness. Give me John 12 and 34. Make it 32. Finish that out, sir. What I got, y'all?
Truly, truly, we have verse 51. Luke 8:51. Truly, truly, I say unto you, if a man keep my saying, he shall never see death.
Never see death.
Then said the Yahudim unto him, now we know that you are a devil. Woo! Abraham is dead, and the Nabi, or the prophets. And you say, if a man keep my saying, he shall never taste death. Are you greater than our father Abraham, which is dead?
And what he told him?
And the Nabim are dead, or the prophets. Whom do you make yourself? Yahusha answered, if I honor myself, my honor is of nothing.
It's nothing.
It is my Father that honors me.
That's what you got to sit back and look at. Don't honor yourself. Let Yahuwah honor you. How else he going to honor you? Before I got you with John 12:32, right? Back me up to about 25, though. Go ahead. I'll show you what he's talking about. Go ahead, sir.
Of,
No, I'm talking about you. Go ahead.
okay. Of whom ye say that he is your Elohim.
You got to sit back and look at that. Don't sit back and say, Yah, your Elohim, but yet you ain't honoring him. Go ahead, Stanley, with 12 and 25. Make it 23.
And Yahusha answered them, saying, the hour is come that the Son of Man should be glorified. Truly, truly, I say unto you, except a corn of wheat fall in the ground and die, it abide alone.
Don't y'all realize that when you went in that water, you was that corn of wheat that fell in the ground and died? Come on, sir.
But if it died, it bring forth much fruit.
Bringing forth fruit at the right time.
He that loves his life shall lose it.
He that loves his life shall lose it. So anything you trying to do and you trying to keep, and that's all yours, that's of the flesh, just know you're going to hell. Go ahead.
And he that hate his life in this world shall keep it unto life eternal.
So those who hate sin, hate the world, hate anything to do with it, what you just read where he told you you would be blessed. That's why he told you, blessed are those that don't listen to the ungodly. Blessed are those that don't stand in the way of sinners. Blessed are those who don't sit in the seat of the scornful. Because they would be like trees by the water, bringing forth fruit at its right time. Because you hate your life. Meaning you hate anything that's against Yahuwah. Just like we read last night. I did not come down from Shamahim to do my own will. I came down to do the will of him that sent me. This is the mind frame, because everybody sitting in this room has been immersed in the name of Mashiach, except for one. And y'all willing, that will be accomplished very soon. We're going to make, hopefully we'll be on a day where the weather is not as cool and overcast. Because y'all knows that we want to get that done very soon. You know what I'm saying? More than likely after y'all nuptials, y'all going to throw a party. Because I want to eat. You know what I'm saying? But y'all willing, we be alive, we'll do that after y'all nuptials. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully it'll be
You
warm.
just go speed past that. Like, you know what you need to say that. So what's happening?
It's supposed to be a marriage. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Where
Hey,
you
that's
go,
a beautiful thing, ain't
Hey,
it? Hey, we like with black love.
This
Black
month?
love, good thing.
I'm big on that too.
Yeah, black
Y'all
love,
saw.
beautiful thing.
Yeah, I was too.
You know what
Y'all
I'm
go to the court? I want to be there.
You want to go to the courthouse? Be there on the court too?
It depends.
saying? I mean, shoot, I think everybody want to be there if possible.
Yeah, I definitely said that.
But that's Thursday.
That's a
Yeah.
Thursday. I'm dead serious about that. Y'all willing? I know everybody want to be there. Cause remember I told you, I said, but shoot, ain't nobody got no money. Then we throw a shit dig after we leave here. Have a good old time. You know what I'm saying? But y'all willing? Not that week, cause we already know we not gonna go in no detail, but we know what y'all gonna be doing. We'll do it next week. You know what I'm talking about? We'll do it next week. Okay, man, that's a newlywed couple. Give them some time. Shoot, y'all know that y'all last in joke.
That's in the law.
Y'all know it's in the law. That's why I said. You know what I'm talking
Give them
about?
their time.
Yeah, they'll give their time. I know that's in the law. Sit back, let you do your thing.
Usually where a man can't go to war.
He can't even go to war. He can't do nothing. He just got him a while. You supposed to let him stay it out. Where you think the people get that stuff from? Where you think they get a honeymoon and you supposed to have a little time off after you get married? Where you think they get it from? They get that from us. Boy, you get married, you supposed to leave them alone for a little bit. Ain't no going to war. Only America will send a nigga off the war after you get married.
Yeah, I was about to say, because they sure will ship a nigga off.
Yeah, America will do it. But see, y'all say you can't go to war.
Yeah,
You
you
say
say you take it like a vacation.
it's a vacation. You supposed to go home, comfort your wife, get freaky as you
I
want.
think it was more than a year.
What I said? That's Deuteronomy 22, ain't it?
That's Deuteronomy.
My man.
Give me Deuteronomy 22. I'll show it to you. I'll show it to you.
Well, you know, they got the 18th off that Monday.
I already know it. Don't tell us nothing. He like she's in the back. She said don't talk about that. Don't put everybody in the business now.
Yeah, but you off for like a year or some change or something.
Yeah, he give you a little bit of time off. He said go home, comfort your wife.
My man.
I think you get some bread too. So
Yeah, go ahead. Is that Deuteronomy 22 and 1, sir?
And as long as you do right by y'all gonna take care of it.
What's it? I can't recall where it's at off the top of my head.
Y'all put in the application and all that?
Y'all do
all
that
that this week.
I get a little rusty
You
sometimes.
gotta do it like Monday if you're trying to do it Thursday.
If we do the little 4-hour course, then you can do it all the same day.
Mm-hmm.
Do that.
4 hours.
Yeah, because I think it's free then.
Well, no, it's all
Oh,
the same day.
you still gonna pay some money.
Yeah, you still gonna pay.
Is
But
that-
yeah, see,
you don't have
You
to.
have to wait 3 days.
22-13.
22-13. I know it's something. I ain't too rusty.
Yeah, yeah.
22 and 13, sir.
Deuteronomy.
Yeah, 22-13.
Yeah, I was straight on that.
You got it. Go, you got to go and read it. Deuteronomy 22 and 13.
That's what's about.
You sure about that? Cause I think that's talking about stoning a nigga.
It's like counseling. 3 days.
No. That's not it. That's not it. Now, I was gonna say I started talking about that ain't it.
On Monday, and then
That ain't it. It might be 24. Give me Deuteronomy 24. If it ain't 24, then it's 25.
24 and 1.
24 and 1. Come on.
When a man has taken a woman, nope, that's not it.
I didn't say 24 and 1. I said it might be in Deuteronomy 24.
Okay, 5.
24 and 5.
that's not it. That first one was not.
I'll tell you, that's divorce. 24 and 5.
When a man has taken a new woman,
When a man taking a new wife,
or when a ish has taken a isha,
either a husband and got him a wife, come on.
it say he shall not go out to war,
He can't go to war.
neither shall he be charged with any business.
Hold on. He won't be charged with what?
Any business.
Now, how y'all gonna take that and relate that to a mashah? Finish the verse though.
But he shall be free at home 1 year, and shall cheer up with his woman which he has took.
He gonna cheer up his wife whom he take. He'll be at home for a year. He ain't got to go nowhere. Come on. That's it.
Yep.
Now, how y'all think that will relate to a mashah? Read it to him again.
When a man has taken a new woman, he shall not go out to war.
You already said a new woman, so he ain't going out to war.
Neither shall he be charged with any business.
No business.
He shall be free at home 1 year,
Free at home for a year.
and shall cheer up his woman which he has
Cheer
taken.
up his wife. Now, how we gonna look at that? How we gonna put that together? How we gonna put that together right there? Any of you brothers got an idea how we gonna put that together?
Patiently waiting.
How we gonna put that together, gentlemen? He said, a man take him a new wife. There, give me Romans 7:1.
I was gonna say,
You ready?
like in Revelation when he said we saw like the bridegroom coming from heaven, son, she make herself ready. So when he comes taking on that new wife, I remember saying ain't gonna be no war, none of that.
But I got a different track in my mind. He ain't wrong. He ain't saying nothing wrong. I got a different track in my mind. Romans 7:1. Cause he say when he take him a new wife, he ain't going out to war, right? Come on.
Certainly you will understand what I am about to say.
He said, hopefully you'll understand what I'm about to say.
my friends, because all of you know about law.
You know the law.
The Torah rules over people as long as they live.
The Torah over a man as long as he lives.
A married woman, for example, is bound by the law to her husband.
She bound to the law by her husband as long as she lives.
But if he dies, then she is free from that law that bound her to him. So then if she lives with another,
she's what?
While her husband is alive, she will be called an adulteress.
What else?
But if her husband dies, she is legally a free woman and does not commit adultery.
Go ahead.
If she marries another man, that is how it is with you, my friends.
He said this is how it is with you. Why is that?
As far as the law is concerned, you also have died because you are a part of the body of Christ.
Do you not realize that when you went in that water, you also died to become a part of the body of Mashiach, therefore you became his wife? He said flesh of my flesh and bone of my bones, right? He say two shall become one flesh. He say he that is joined to a Mashiach is one ruach. So now he's sitting back looking at it. He say, because you have died, now you can be joined. Come on.
And now you belong to him who was raised from the dead.
Read that again.
And now you belong to him who was raised from the dead in order that we might be useful in the service of Elohim.
Start that verse over again for me, sir.
And now you belong to him who was raised from the dead in order that we
You belong to him who was raised from the dead, which means he took him a new wife. He say, he that is in Mashiach becoming for what? A new creature. Old things are passed away. No longer are you that harlot. No longer are you that adulteress. But you have become a new woman. He has taken a new wife with the washing of water by the word, that she might be without spot, wrinkle, or blemish, or any such thing. You know what I'm talking about? Then you talking about because we members one of another, you members of his body. So when we actually look at it, did Hamashiach go to war after that? Give me Acts 1 and 6, Stanley. Acts 1 and 3.
That be like telling him to put up his sword.
Put up your sword. It ain't time to go to war.
Acts
It's
1.
finna be a marriage. Who finna fight? That's the law. See, you see the beautiful thing about it, we know the law. That's what I was talking about the other night. He that knoweth the Father cometh unto me. When you know the law and you see these things, that's why you tell him, man, I'm finna get married. We can't fight. I got a year off, man. We ain't going to war. Put that thing up. What you mean? I don't feel like this here. Now, we know he's going to do that there, but you know somebody tell you, you ain't got to go fight. You get to stay home for a year. Somebody coming up pregnant. And guess what? A Mashiach wife came up pregnant. Well, because what? Got to produce seed. Bringing forth fruit at its time. Which goes back to Isaac. When he told us, is there anything too hard for Yahuwah? He said, at the time of life, you will bring forth a seed. And he said, and that seed is Isaac. He said, in Isaac shall thy seed be called. And a Mashiach shall thy seed be called. That's bringing forth fruit in its time. In its time. Come on, man.
To whom also he showed himself alive after his passion by many infallible proofs, being seen of them 40 days, and speaking of things pertaining to the kingdom of Yahuwah, and being assembled together with them, commanded them that they should not depart from Jerusalem, but wait for the promise of the Father, which said ye have heard of me. For John truly baptized with water, but ye shall be baptized with the Ruach HaKodesh not many days hence. When they therefore were come together, they asked of him, saying, Master,
What they asked him?
Will thou at this time restore again the kingdom of Yasharal?
If he got to restore the kingdom, what he got to come do? If you're going to restore a kingdom, what would you do? If he a king and they ask, what you say? He got to go to war. What he told them?
And he said unto them, It is not for you to know the times or the seasons which the Father hath put in his own power.
It ain't your time to know that. I'm going to take some time off.
But ye shall receive power after the Ruach HaKodesh is come upon you, and ye shall be witness unto me both in Jerusalem, in all Judea, and in Samaria, and unto the uttermost part of the earth.
Good. Remember he told you, he on his honeymoon. He on his honeymoon. He on his honeymoon. That's why he ain't came back yet. You know what he coming back to do? He coming back for war. Because the year has passed. You know what I'm saying? Now I can go to war. I mean, everything in the law come back to this man. He got to fulfill everything, and we have to know these things. You know what I'm saying? And we got to know these things. You see how y'all work? We just sitting there talking, but put it in my mind right then. Let's go on and look at it. That's about Mashiach too. So you can sit back and understand why hasn't he came back. 2 Peter 3, 2 Peter 3, Troy, 3 and 6.
Ain't that time?
3 and 5.
All right.
Second Kaf, 3 and 6.
Make it 3.
3 and 3.
That's right.
Knowing this first,
Knowing what?
that there shall come in the last days scoffers,
Mockers.
walking after their own lust,
That's all a lustful nigga gonna do is mock somebody who living right.
and saying, where is the promise of his
He
coming?
said that man ain't coming.
For since the fathers fell asleep, all things continue as they were from the beginning
Everything,
of
hope they all from the beginning of who?
creation.
Oh man. And in the beginning, the beginning created Elohim, the beginning and the end, the Shamaim. Always got a smart guy. And the earth. And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was over the face of the deep, and all this here. All they sitting back looking at is still niggas out here sinning. Everything's continuing just like from the jump street. Niggas is unlawful and just maggots.
You don't care.
Don't care. Come on.
For since the fathers fell asleep, all things continue as they were from the beginning of creation. For this they willingly are ignorant of, that the word of Elohim, the heavens were of old, and the arats standing
By the word of Elohim, he created this. What we looking at? By the word, all this is created, right? What he say though?
It say, by the word of Elohim, the Shemaim were of old, and the rocks standing out of the water and in the water.
Oh boy, he say the earth was standing in the water and out of the water. Now what could we look at and think that could mean? Because we know who Aratz is, right? That's Mashiach. That's Yahusha. So how is he in the water and out of the water?
Firmament.
Remember when we dealt with that long time ago about the waters under the firmament? You sit back and look at it. He was in the water and out of the water. Come on. We still got John 12:32 on deck too. Darius can get that. Come on, bro.
Whereby the world that then was, being overflowed with water, perished.
Perish.
But the Shemaim and the Arats, which are now by the same word, are kept in store,
For what?
reserved unto fire, against the day of judgment,
I'm going to purge
of the wicked men.
of wicked men, which we go back to looking at when we sit back and look at what we read in Psalm 1 and 1. I'm going to separate the saints or the Kadashim from the sinner. I'm going to kill them. Come on.
But, beloved, be not ignorant of this one thing,
What they don't need to be ignorant of, sir?
that one day is with Yahuwah as 1,000 years,
What else?
and 1,000 years is as one day.
I want to ask y'all the question. Who knows where Peter got that from? Who knows where that's at, where he got that from?
That deals with the Shabbat.
No, I'm talking about there's literally a precept where he's quoting that word for word.
Daniel.
I damn. Y'all know where he got that from? Still know it. Telahim 90. Probably about verse 3 or 4 is where he got that from. That's just so y'all know where he got that
I
from.
ain't know that.
You know that? Well, go on and read it for me. What you holding?
Oh, I was going to Psalms 90.
No, I'm saying what you been holding for it.
I think I was holding John 12.
Okay, then you go back and get it. I didn't know if I had you hold something else, and I had it. You can get Psalms 90 and read. You go back to where you at. Go Psalm 90 and 1 and read that. So y'all know where that's at. Psalm 90 and 1, just Elohim 90 and 1, just so y'all can know where it's at.
O Yahuwah, you always been our home. Before you created the hills or brought the world into being, you were eternal, Elohim.
Ain't that something? He said before you made anything, you was the eternal Elohim. Because in the beginning was the Word was with Elohim, and the Word was Elohim, and in him was the light, and the light was the light of men. Before the world war, he just said that, didn't he? Say, before you made anything, you were eternal. That's why he said what we read last night, right? When he said, I will make your flesh like the days of your youth. Give me back the esteem that I had with you before the world was. That's what we turn around to look at. Before the world was, or before Hamashiach was revealed to us, we were without form and void. Now we went into the grave. When you went into that grave, you went into darkness. Same thing what he was talking about is here. It came over the darkness, over the face of the deep. We were in deep darkness. Now when we came up out of that water, we come up into light. Now that we done came up into light, we come up into life. And now we can end up making our flesh like the days of our youth. Why? Because we're joined to Mashiach. What we just read in Romans 8. Now your body will be quickened with his body, and you'll live with it. Come on, sir.
Oh yeah, you are eternal. You are eternal Elohim and will be Elohim forever. You tell us to return to what we were. You change us back to dust. 1,000 years to you are like one day.
1,000 years of what?
1,000 years to you are like one day.
That's where he got it from.
Mm.
That's where he got it from. Stop. Go ahead.
They are like yesterday, already gone. Like a short hour in the night, you carry us away like a flood. We last no longer than a dream.
That's why he say, watch, I come quickly.
Get away from me.
We are like weeds that sprout in the morning.
That's good. That's good. John 12 and 30, 25. No, stand. I forgot it was in John.
Hush it up. Hush it up.
Truly, oh,
You in 25? Or you was in 24?
yeah, I can start at 24. Truly, truly, I say unto you, except a corn of wheat fall in the ground and die, it abide alone. But if it die, it bring forth much fruit.
Go ahead.
He that love his life shall lose it, and he that hate his life in this world shall keep it until life eternal.
What else?
If a man serve me, let him follow me.
If a man do what?
If a man serve me, let him follow me.
How you gonna serve? If you serve Yahusha, you gonna go where he go. You think he gonna go where sin at? Come on.
And where I am, there shall also my servant be.
It's the same thing he say, blessed are those that don't stand in the way of sinners. He say, whoever follow me gonna be where I am, my servant gonna be. So you gotta ask yourself, if you there and you his servant, is Yahusha there? Because if he ain't there, you ain't got no business being there. Go ahead.
If any man follow me, if any man serve me, him will my Father honor.
So if you serve him, the Father will honor you because you honored his son. He told you, kiss the son lest he be angry. Come on.
Now is my soul troubled, and what shall I say? Father, save me from this hour, but for this cause came I unto this hour.
You heard what he said? He said, my soul troubled. What I'm going to say? Save me? This is what I'm here for. So you going to sit back when you get in a little affliction, a little trouble, you going to say, oh, Most High, save me? Nigga, that's what you're here for. What you going to do? You going to stand? Or the old saying say, you going to barbecue a meal do? What you going to do?
You stand like a man and fall.
Straight up and down. I like this here, man. Real talk, boy. I'd rather die standing up than die on my knees. You know what I'm saying? You done seen people be like, tell somebody, pull a gun on them, get on your knees. You're going to have to shoot me, man. Cause I ain't going out like no coward. I'm not finna get on my knees. You're going to have to go ahead and pull the trigger. If I get on my knees, you're going to pull the trigger, so I'm going to stand up and die like a man. Straight up. I'm going to die on 2 feet, never knees in the dirt. All right, you got to look at it. You just sit back and look at it. You're supposed to die on 2 feet. That means you're supposed to die standing on the word. Never on your knees serving Satan. Come on.
Father, glorify thy name. Then came there a voice from Shamayim saying, I have both glorified it and will glorify it again. The people therefore that stood by and heard it said that it thundered.
Just like on the mountain in Exodus 20. Come on.
Others said, a Malakim spake to him. Yahusha answered and said, the voice came not because of me, but for your sakes.
Why is that?
Now is the judgment of this world. Now shall the prince of this world be cast out.
Cast out.
And I, if I be lifted up from their rich, will draw all men unto me.
This man said if he get lifted up off the ground, off the earth, everybody will come unto me. You just sit back and you know why that's important? Because when he was lifted up, how was it? Arms open. You know what I'm saying? Which is welcoming, right? Somebody come and walk up to you like this here, that's a welcoming piece of body language. Come to me. I will comfort you. You know what I'm talking about? The same way that man said, they say, come unto me, all ye that are heavy laden, I'll give you rest. Come to me, I will comfort you. Because we already know what he's talking about. He's talking about Noah. He'll comfort the ground which ye have cursed. Come to me, I'll comfort you. He told you that in Jeremiah, I will allure you with loving kindness. Everybody likes a hug. Why you think he had his arms stretched out like that? He was telling you to come to him that you might lay your head in his bosom. But see, we don't think like that. Because we don't actually want to lay our head in his bosom. We'd rather lay with the devil. Come on.
This he said, signifying what death he should die. The people answered him, we have heard out of the law that Mashiach abide forever. And how sayest thou the Son of Man must be lifted up? Who is this Son of Man?
Who is this man? Hold on. Who is saying? He say this? Who is this Son of Man? Or who is this Son of Adam? Or who is this first of blood? Who is this first that come from the ground? Who is this? This your Redeemer. They couldn't catch it though. Just like we ain't catching it now. Come on, sir.
Then Yahusha said unto them, yet a little while is the light with you. Walk while ye have the light, lest darkness come upon you.
He said a little while the light is with you. Guess what this here, right? This go for everybody on the phone, everybody in the room. Don't you know you're supposed to walk with the word while it's with you? Because just before you know it, he can snatch that light back and you perish. You think you just got word all the time? You think you can play? You think you can procrastinate? You think he won't turn the lights out? Go ahead.
For he that walk in darkness know not whither he go.
Man, a sinner don't know what he doing. That's why he told you that. That's why he told you don't even cleave to him. That's why he say, come out from among them and be ye separate. Come out of her, my people, that you be not partakers of her sins and her plagues. You got to come up out of that stuff, man. It's got to come, like I told you, everybody in this room, save one, have been immersed in the death of Mashiach. How many of y'all going to live and walk like it, though? How many of y'all going to go from darkness to light? Because that's what that was symbolizing. From darkness to light. He just didn't deal with the next verse, the third verse. Where he say, and Elohim said, let there be light. He saw the light was good. He didn't sit back and realize that you looking at the baptism and resurrection. In the first 3 verses, you seeing baptism and resurrection. So, death and resurrection. So you sitting back looking at it for you, that's symbolizing your immersion and you coming up in newness of life. So now you got to sit back and look at it. You light now. You no longer darkness. How long you going to walk in darkness? How long you going to teeter on the edge? Because if you fearful for serving Yah, then you got in the wrong vocation. Because when it comes to Yah, you got to be willing to die. You got to be willing to sacrifice. You got to be willing to lose. You know what I'm saying? What are you willing to lose? That's why he say, he that hateth his life shall keep it. You ain't losing nothing. You gain. You know the thing that we always look at? What we losing for Yah and not what we gaining from him. Because usually what we losing is the things that we desire and what we want.
Like the world I'm talking about.
You know what I'm saying? When you sitting back, absolutely. Instead of sitting back looking at gaining the things that Yah wants. That he has for you. Which no man can number. Which no man can fathom. What you got? Psalms 89 and 3.
Yeah.
You still got 2 Peter, right? Read that. Finish that 2 Peter, please. I appreciate you, sir. We have something in a moment.
One verse.
Wherever you stopped at.
2 Peter 3 and 5.
Go ahead.
For this they willingly are ignorant of, that by the word of Elohim, the Shemayim were of old, and the earth standing out of the water and in the water, whereby the world that then was, being overflowed with water, perished. But the Shemayim and the Arats, which are now by the same word, are kept in store.
About verse 8 or 9.
Let's go to verse 9. Yahuwah is not slack concerning his promise.
He's not what?
He is not slack
Meaning
concerning
he ain't
his
lazy.
promise.
Come on.
As some men count slackness.
See, he ain't taking his time like most men. He's not a slacker. Like most men count a slacker. Why is that?
But is long suffering to us, not willing that any should perish.
You don't realize that this man be having space with you so you don't go to hell. But you don't know how long that space is, so you don't want to play with it and lose it. Come on.
But that all should come to repentance.
That's what he sat back and realized what I was talking to y'all about last night. That the chastening is so, that's the long suffering he's talking about. See, you can do certain things, man. It don't necessarily mean you ought to die for it. You know what I'm saying? But he got to crack you upside your head and let you know the way that you're going, that's not the way I want you to go. And he do that because I want everybody to come to repentance. That's why he say, cast away from you all your transgressions, which you have transgressed. So iniquity will not be your ruin. Make you a new heart and a new ruach. I have no pleasure in the death of him that died. But turn yourselves and live, saith Yahuwah. And he give you that space. But if you keep playing with it, reprobate will be on the horizon. It's not a game. Come on.
But the day of Yahuwah will come as a thief in the night.
I come quickly. Ain't that what we read already? I'm going to come, I'm going to catch you. You ain't going to be ready. Come on.
In which Shamayim shall pass away with a great noise.
Great noise, because he coming back with a what? A shock.
And the elements shall melt with fervent heat.
Because in the beginning the elements was water. Now the elements going to be fire.
The earth also and the works that are in shall be burnt up.
All sinners out of here.
Gotta be.
Got to be. I got to get you out of here. That's why he said, love not the world nor anything in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. Say the lust of the world, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life of the world, they are not of Elohim. He said, but he that dwell in the word of Elohim abide forever. Why do they abide forever? Why do they abide forever? They abide forever for one reason. Because Yah, hey, Yah is life. Ain't that something?
No.
Ain't that something? You sit back and look at it now. If the word is in you, you abide forever. If the word ain't in you, you get burnt up. Come on. Finish that out.
Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved,
Seeing all these things gonna be dissolved,
what manner of persons
what manner of person
ought you to be,
all you should be,
in all purity of behavior,
in all purity of behavior,
in Kudash, looking for and hasting unto the coming of the day of Elohim.
ain't that so? That's good. What type of person you ought to be knowing that's gonna happen? You sitting there hearing the word, you know that's gonna happen. What manner of person ought you to be? What type of behavior should you be exhibiting? What type of mind should you have? What direction should you go? Psalm 89 and 1. Make it verse 1. I'm feeling lucky right now.
O Yahuwah, I will always sing of your consistent love.
He always do what?
I will always sing of your constant love.
Sing of his love.
Hallelujah.
I will proclaim your faithfulness forever.
Proclaim it forever.
I know that your love will last for all time, that your faithfulness is as permanent as the sky.
Hold on. His faithfulness is permanent as what? Because he said he'll make a new Shamahim and a new Araz, right? Which is really showing you how you're supposed to make you a new heart and a new Ruach. You understand what I'm telling you?
That's a hard.
Siri talking to you? You didn't hit that voice control. Siri said she want to go on a date tonight. Read that again.
I know that your love will last for all time, that your faithfulness is as permanent as the sky.
What you think that mean about he say his faithfulness and his love is permanent as the sky and will last forever? Who in this room got an idea what that could mean? What y'all think that could mean? His love will last forever. His faithfulness is as permanent as Shamahim.
He ain't going nowhere.
That one there too. Say they'll never pass away. He say light and darkness will never pass away. But sit back and think about it. What did he say is permanent?
Covenant.
Not just the covenant, not just Shamahim. What's the one thing that's permanent? And what is his word?
Like his son
The Ruach. Remember, that's his love, right? Hold that. Stanley. Yukonon 3:14. John 3 and 14. You got to remember, if you receive the Ruach, you abide forever. 1 Peter 1 and 21. Make it 20.
John 3
And 14.
14. And as Moshe lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, even so must the Son of Man be lifted up, that whoever believes in him shall not perish but have eternal life.
What else?
For Yahuwah so loved the world that
Read it right.
For Elohim so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish.
Because his love is forever. His faithfulness endures as the Shamahim. Come on.
That whoever believes in him shall not perish but have everlasting life. For Elohim sent not his Son into the world to condemn the world,
But to do what?
but the world through him might be saved.
His love endures forever. Come on, Troy. What I got you? 1 Peter 1 and 20. Hold your Psalms 89 there, Darius, and get me. I think it just slipped out my head. It'll come back to me in a minute. Come on, Troy.
First Corinthians 1 and 20. Who verily was foreordained for the foundation of the world.
And then we already read how he said he was from the beginning. And that's on. Ain't that something? Come on.
But manifest in these last times for you. Who by him do believe in Elohim, that raised him up from the dead and gave him esteem.
Gave him esteem.
That your faith and hope might be in Elohim.
Your faith and hope might be where?
In Elohim.
Your faith and hope might be where?
In Elohim.
Come on.
Seeing ye have purified your soul.
You purified what?
Your soul.
How you did that? Didn't we already read about how you ought to make yourself pure? What type of person you ought to be in all pureness of behavior? Because you sitting back the long suffering that he had for you to come to repentance. You sitting back looking at you been resurrected through this man in this man's life because you were buried in his death. How you gonna be around here living stupid? Come on now. You're supposed to purify your heart with the word.
In obeying the truth.
Obeying the truth.
Through the Ruach.
Through the Ruach.
Unto unfeigned love of the brethren.
So that means if you done got down in that water and came back up, you're supposed to be obeying the word through the Ruach, not trying to find out a way to figure out to obey your flesh. Come on.
See that you love one another with a pure heart fervent.
That means everybody's supposed to love each other with passion. And not no fake love, but real love. You know, you got a lot of people, they do this thing, they don't really love everybody, they just love a select few. They ain't got love for everybody. They ain't supposed to be like that. But my shot love all those that are part of him. Come on.
Being born again.
Being what?
Born again.
Just like he said he made a new shaman. Because you look at if he making a new Shamahim and a new Aras, that's a new beginning, right? Now you supposed to follow that same pattern. A new heart and a new spirit. Because you notice he said he put him in the heart of Aras. You know what I'm talking about? So that's a new heart and a new spirit. A new way of living. Don't you realize when he make a new Shamahim and a new Aras, we going to be living different? He said that's an earth that will dwell with righteousness. So that means you're supposed to be a person that dwell with righteousness. Yahushua's supposed to be dwelling with you. Then he can quicken your mortal body with his body. Come on.
Not of a corruptible seed.
Not of a corruptible seed. Guess what? Every last one of us in here come from a corruptible seed. You came from semen. That's what you came from. That's corruptible. That's going back to the grave. But what type of seed they ought to be made of, Troy?
Incorruptible.
Incorruptible.
By the word of Elohim.
By the word of Elohim. Because he told you now. He said your seed. His offspring. His offspring going to be born from the word. That's why he said he gave them power to become the sons of Elohim. All those who believed on his name. Because he said they were not born by will of man, nor will of the flesh, but by the word of Elohim. The will of Elohim. That man put you, if that man allowed you to be immersed in his death, it was for the sole purpose for you to be born of him and become a son and daughter of Elohim. That's the purpose of it. That was the purpose of it. You know how many people sit back and look at it and they go do that and they don't realize that was the purpose of it? To make you a son and daughter of Yah. That was the purpose of you going in that water. Don't you realize, sit back and look at this man say he'll make things come to pass suddenly. You don't even sit back and realize we discussed it and he brought it to pass suddenly like this here, like boom, it's going down. You know what I'm talking about? Go ahead, bring it, it's going down just like that. So it went down just like that. That means you'll sit back and look at, because most of y'all have been sitting back hearing the word long enough to where you should have already been prepared, knowing what you were getting yourself into before you did it. And then we spoke on it that night and that afternoon before you went and did it. So now you sit back and look at, who do you live for now? Do you live for yourself or do you live for Elohim? And if you live for Elohim, then you got to go where Yahushua is, because where my servant is, where I am, my servant will be also. That means you go where he goes. He ain't at no club. You know what I'm talking about? He don't roll with sinners. He'll sit down and teach them, but he don't roll with them. You got to look at all that. He don't deal with idols. You know what I'm talking about? He don't deal with the world. Because we already looked at that from Dabarim 7 and 1 Yuchanan 4, that we have overcome them because greater is him that is in us, that is in them. We got to keep that in mind. Everything we look at in these epistle letters, you seeing, we just seeing the law line right up with it. So then when we see the law lining right up with it, then we see a pattern of behavior that we supposed to sit back and follow. Because we see what these men get this at. Because John had the understanding to know we overcame the Hivites and the Amorites and all that because of he that was with us. You know what I'm saying? They didn't hear us because they weren't of the truth. See, we would build with each other because we of the truth. That's why he say unfeigned love, because people be pump faking. Y'all know, y'all done sat down and ate with a few. You know what I'm talking about? Y'all done sat down and ate with people who were faking. You know what I'm saying? You can't fall for that. Like I said, I mentioned that story last night, but it didn't really hit me like the time frame, like how short that was. Till I said it. Like, nigga really quit in 2 months. Stood up and made a bold statement and quit 2 months later. And put the whole thing down 6 months later. Like, when that really registered in my mind, I'm like, that's a sad thing. Guess what? That man sat right in your house, didn't he? We'd ever thought I wouldn't even thought he did nothing like that. Not 2 months. What was that?
Okay, all right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm being serious though, not being funny or nothing. Like, they didn't see that coming. But you know about what my words was before we left to go out of town. I said, we're going to see who's serious and who ain't. You know what I'm saying? I ain't think bro was going to fall off like that. I was talking to him while we were gone. Came back, that nigga wouldn't even answer the phone. Then you sit back looking at, they don't even believe the word no more. But guess what? When we was all together, you'd have thought he'd did something like that.
You know me, I don't put nothing past.
I mean, it ain't out putting nothing past nobody. Because of course you ain't gonna put nothing past nobody. But they didn't think he gonna go that track talking about put the whole book down. Like he put the whole book down. You know what I'm saying? I've been like this here, okay, maybe you ain't want to keep going, but you'll talk about, okay, it might have been too tight for you, but you still want to do what you had been doing before I knew you. You know, smoking, drinking, whatever you were doing, but trying to drop a little word here. Not no going off on the word. Like it's fairy tales, it's not real. You know what I'm saying? That happened in less than a year. That's crazy, though, man. You know what know what I'm saying? That's why he say the word of Elohim is sharper than a two-edged sword, dividing asunder to the joints and marrow, and is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart. When that word comes, that word gonna show what's in the nigga heart if you paying attention. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of people who with us, did a lot of things, stopped doing a lot of things, but all you had to do is just sit back and watch sometime when that word hit them. You got to see what was really in their heart. That's all you have to sit back and look at. When that word comes, it show what's in your heart now. What else is going to do? The book say he's a revealer, he's a trier of the reins in the heart. How else he going to try your heart? Man, hit him with that word. Bet my word show you what time it is. Come on, sir.
For all flesh is as grass.
Is as grass.
And all the esteem of man as the flower of grass.
Mm-hmm.
The grass withereth, and the flower thereof falls away. But the word of Yahuwah endures forever.
It endures forever.
This is the word which by the Besor is preached unto you. Of the gospel.
Ain't that something? What I got you holding, Darius?
89.
And what I got you holding, Stanley? Come on back to Psalm 89.
Psalms 89, verse 3.
Hold on, I need John 14 and 15, Stanley. He said his love and his faithfulness is forever, right? John 14 and 15. Yuchanan 14 and 15. I'll deal with that thing what I was talking about with the rounding when we finish.
John 14 and 15. If you love me, keep my commandments.
If you what?
If you love me, keep my commandments.
What's going to happen?
And I will pray the Father, and he shall give you another comforter.
He'll give you the Ruach, and what's going to happen?
That he may abide with you forever.
His love is forever, just like the sky. His faithfulness is just like the sky. The Ruach is received through faith. Give me Galatians 3 and 1, Troy. Keep going.
Even the Ruach of truth, whom the world cannot receive.
The world can't get it. Why the world can't get it, Stan?
Because it sees him not.
It sees him not, and what else?
Neither knows him.
It don't even know him. So hold on. Give me Isaiah, Yeshayahu 1 and 1. He said the world can't receive it because they don't know him. Can't see him. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why the world don't know him, because they not of Elohim. Because he that is of Elohim hears Elohim's words. I'm going to tell y'all something real. Just because somebody black and they a Hebrew don't mean they of Yah. Just like meaning somebody white don't mean they not of Yah. Because you know there's a lot of Hebrews be like, well, they not of Yah, that's a Gentile. Just because they not black don't mean they not of Yah. Give me Amos 9 and 10, Darius. I got you.
Isaiah 1.
1. Yeah, you get that. You get me Isaiah 9 and 10. I said, I meant Amos 9 and 10. Go ahead, Darius. Go ahead. Yeshayahu 1 and 1. Isaiah 1 and 1.
This book contains the messages about Judah and Jerusalem, which Elohim revealed to Isaiah, the son of Amos, during the time of Uzziah, Jotham,
You all right?
Amaz, and Hezekiah were kings of Judah. Yahuwah said, earth and sky, listen to what I am saying.
He say, Shamahim and Aras, hear my word.
The children
hold on. I'm asking y'all a question. Do y'all know why? Any of y'all in here know why he say earth and sky, Shamahim and Aras, hear my word?
Because he made a covenant with it in Deuteronomy 30.
Not just because of what, but why did he name them specifically? D, why he named them specifically? They are witnesses.
Yeah.
2 witnesses for all matters to be established. That's why he did that, a witness. So Shamahim and Aras can testify against you that you might be condemned. Go ahead.
The children I brought up have rebelled against me.
The children I brought up them bucked me.
Cattle know who owns them.
Cattle know who own them.
And the donkeys know where their master
and the donkeys know where their master feed them at. But what happened with Yasharah?
But that is more than my people Israel.
They don't what?
They don't know.
They don't what?
They don't know. Understand it all.
They don't even understand.
You are doomed.
What?
You sinful nation.
That's good. That's why they can't get it. And now he talking about his own people. He talking about his own people. You doomed. You don't know me. You don't even understand. That's why he say the world can't get it. Now he's sitting back talking about, now we could look at the world and sit back and we could play that in and look at that as the Gentile. But he wasn't talking about no Gentile in John 14. He was talking about you niggas. He was talking about you niggas. You's a Hebrew, you's a Abrim. You from the tribe of Yehuda. You a Yahudim. And you will not get it because you don't see him and you don't know him. That's what I'm sitting here telling you. Just because they got our skin don't mean they going to get it. And just because they don't have our skin mean that don't mean they won't get it. You got Amos 9 and 10. Come on with it, sir. I just got to back that up.
All the sinners of my people.
All who?
The sinners of my people.
What's going to happen to them?
Shall die by the sword.
Woo, Mashiach coming with that sword. I'm off my honeymoon. I got to come see you.
We say that evil shall not overtake your preventers.
He say, oh, all them say that sin ain't going to, he ain't going to kill me, man. Y'all, you know, Jesus is merciful. He's a loving God. But what you told him, tell him like you told Ed, Glow.
Well, he ain't real.
He ain't real. Stop calling that nigga. He ain't real. Because you should come for your dome piece. Come on.
In that day, I will raise up the tabernacle of Dawood that is fallen.
Y'all remember what that is? Raising up the tabernacle of Dawood. What that is, everybody? Come on, read it again. Read the whole thing for me.
And close up the breaches thereof.
Close up the breach.
And I will raise up his ruins.
Raise up his ruins.
And I will build it as in the days of old.
That's a Mashiach raising from the dead right there. Closing up the breach is cleaning up the sin. Reconciliation. Gospel of reconciliation. Because that's what a breach is. It's a separation. I got to close up the breach. He said, what has separated you from your Elohim? Your iniquities have. That's why he's sitting back looking at it. He said the spirit had to come over the face of the deep because there was darkness. That was separating you from your Elohim. He said, I had to let there be light then. Come on.
That they may possess the remnant of Adam.
Or Edom.
And of all the heathen.
Of all the heathen that are what?
Called by my name.
Called by what?
My name.
By what?
My name.
That means they're going to be called by the name of Yahshua. How do you think going to sit back and say this, man, if you call by the man's name, he belong to you. You belong to him. So you can't turn around and sit back and say because somebody white that they ain't a Yah. Because then you'll be mistaken. They could be called by his name. Just because somebody black don't mean they called by his name. Come on back to John 14, whoever had it. You had it, little Stanley. Read verse 15 again. What?
It's hard to hit him with the target.
Ain't it though?
If you love me, keep my commandments. And I will pray the Father, and he shall give you another comforter, that he may abide with you forever.
Forever.
Even the Spirit of truth, whom the world cannot receive.
The world can't get it.
Because it sees him not.
It sees him not.
Neither knows him.
That's why he say, what manner of love hath the Father bestowed upon us that we should be called the sons of Elohim. The world know us not because it knew him not. The world ought not to know you. The world ought not to know you. You're supposed to be a peculiar treasure. He said that's why he said when he is revealed, we shall see him as he is. He said we know not what we shall be, but when he shall appear, we shall see him as he is. Come on, sir, finish that up.
But ye know him, for he dwells with you and shall be in you.
You would know him because the word is with you. That's the purpose of him allowing you to be immersed so you could be with him, that he could dwell in you. So that means, you know what? I know we done hit a lot of stuff, you know what I'm saying? Since I've been going, I understand that, I realize that. It's a volume of information. You know, I get that. You know what I'm talking about? But the whole premise of what we're looking at is basically, is that when you have perished and then risen in the Mashiach, then you're supposed to be looking at a framework of living eternally. Going after what the man promised would last forever. You know what I'm saying? Understanding that this man has made a honeymoon because he done got married and married his wife. And he done took time off. And then that time off was to actually give you space to repent. When he say you don't have to go out for war for a year, I don't have to come back to kill you people for your transgressions because I'm bearing long with you because I'm not slack as men count slackness. But I'm long suffering that you might come to repentance. Because when my honeymoon is over, I got to gut you. You know what I'm saying? I got to gut you. But people just think that's just a meaningless precept. Or we just went and say, see, that's about a Mashiach. No. It's not just about that. It's about the understanding that that 1 year break is symbolic of you having time to get it right. Don't play with it. You know what I'm saying? Don't play with it. In the process of you having time to get it right, this allows you to actually know your power. And when you know your power, then he can dwell with you so we can get Yah's life. Because all the things we've been looking at is how the word is life and how it will manifest and give you life. Even as we just read in Amos, he said, I will repair the breaches and build up the tabernacles of Dawood that are ruined. How was he able to do it? By the word. That's how he was able to do it. So how are we going to build up our ruins? How are we going to close up the breach? By taking heed according to the word, by being born again of incorruptible seed. You know what I'm saying? You coming out of the water was representative of you being born of incorruptible seed. That with power and by the Ruach HaKodesh and the resurrection of the dead, you would be declared to be the son of Elohim, just like Yahushua HaMashiach, right? You know what I'm saying? Praise y'all. That's what we after, man. All this extra stuff, that stuff don't mean nothing. Even the stuff we sit back looking at about not walking in the way of sinners, the tree by the water. All this stuff is showing the framework of what this man was telling us to do. We ought to take counsel from y'all. We ought to take counsel from the servants of y'all. Not from sinners. Most definitely not from ourselves if you don't possess this man, Ruach. If that man is not with you, then you got to sit back and look at, you're supposed to judge things according to his word. According to righteousness. Because like we talked about last night, there's a way that seems right unto a man. But the end thereof are the ways of death. He look right to you. And he going to let it look right to you. He going to let you go down. Which goes back to what we were talking about last night about adding the virtue and the patience and the love and the brotherly kindness and the temperance and the godliness so you can bear that fruit like we read in Psalm 1 in its right time. That fruit you want to bear is eternal life. That fruit you want to bear is fruit unto Kadesh. Because you got to sit back and look at what fruit or what profit did you have in those things that you are now ashamed. And why would you continue to move in those things when you are now ashamed? It doesn't make sense. Not if you say you want to be saved. You can't be hot or cold, people. I mean, you can't be lukewarm. You got to be hot or cold. I done said it many times before. Don't nobody like no cold coffee and don't nobody want no hot soda. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all done had somebody, this soda hot. But shit, nigga, I don't even want it. You like cold coffee? Oh, you old cappuccino again.
Ice coffee.
You know what I'm saying? One old frappuccino.
I like hot water.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like this here. Stuff go how I want to do. I'm going to just buy cups of coffee. I don't even drink it. I just bought it just to buy it. Throw it out the window. Because I can. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm going to stop now. I've been thinking about what Puffy said. Puffy said we just buy big bottles of Cristal just so we can urinate it. You know what I'm saying? You say buy expensive food just so we can defecate it. That's when you're just talking greed. That's when you're feeling yourself when you know you're doing your thing. You know what I'm saying? That basically saying we eating over here, man. We just buy stuff just so like this. Yeah, I don't even care what it tastes like. I just bought it so I could pee it back out.
Doesn't sound hungry.
Not at all, but that's some Harlem stuff. You know what I'm saying? All that's just some floss. You know what I'm saying? You can stay humble because we already know, but the law says you're supposed to hate arrogance and pride. But guess what though? I don't mean we can't floss a little bit. Just ain't gonna rub it in nobody's face.
Floss on your own time.
On my own time.
In the house. With the windows closed.
Ain't the window closed. I'm telling you right now, I ain't flossing out with the window closed. I'm gonna step out the door, be like this here, what up, some nice shoes? Yeah, you don't want to know what they cost. I'm gonna keep that to myself. Okay. Play with it. Yeah, I'm sporty like that. Yeah, that's a nice watch you got. You know what I'm saying? I be feeling like Bleak. I ain't got a Porsche on my wall. I got a Rolex on it though. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to come up on some niggas. That's how we roll. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, I got a Rolex on. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? He said, keep on looking at it, I'm gonna get me another one tonight. You know what I'm talking about? Straight up. Mama gonna bury somebody tonight. Come on, man. Keep your hands off you, but get your eyes off you. You're looking at it too hard. You're looking at it too hard. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't know about that. That's passion. That's before time. What I got you over?
Way before.
No, Psalms 89. Nah, it ain't that one.
What this? Show your age.
Nah, I ain't showing my age. Actually, that song is from like 2001. He said, yeah, I got a roll and it's got a lot of ice.
I know, keep your wrist on freezing and neck on, no, keep your neck on chill.
Well, that was Jadakiss that I'm talking about. He said, yeah, I got a roll and it's got a lot of ice. He said, I'm gonna pull my gun out, I'm gonna get another one tonight. You watching it too hard. You know what I'm talking about? Get your eyes up off you, making me nervous.
All right, Psalms 89 verse 3. You say, I have made a covenant with the man I choose.
He made a who?
You have made a covenant with the man I choose.
He made a covenant with a Masha, the man he chose. This is my beloved son, of whom I'm well pleased.
I promised my servant David, a descendant of yours will always be king. I will preserve your dynasty forever.
Forever. Don't you realize when you born of Masha, you his posterity, he will preserve you forever? Come on.
The heavens sing of the wonderful things you do. The Holy One sing of your faithfulness, Yahuwah. No one in heaven is like you, Yahuwah. None of the heavenly beings is your equal.
Hold on. He say none of the beings in Shamahim is his equal. Troy, get me Hebrews. I bring 1 and 4.
I bring 1 and 4.
Yes, sir.
Since we heard of your faith in Yahushua HaMashiach and of the love which you have to all the Kudashim, for the hope which is laid up for
Are you I bring 1 and 4, sir?
Oh, Being made so much better than the Malachim,
Being better, and he's greater than the heavenly beings.
as he has by inheritance obtained a more excellent name than they.
Ain't that the same thing? And don't you realize when you born into a Mashiach, you would be greater than the heavenly beings as well, because you would be in him, which be with what we talked about last night, being conformed to the image of his son. That was something you were discussing when you were going through that. You know what I'm saying? Our whole objective is to be conformed into the image of his son. He say he made him in his likeness and his image. We're supposed to be conformed into the likeness and image of Yahushua. Therefore, the Father can receive us, which goes right back to
Heard that.
Yeah, shoot, I know that cry, that crank up. That one never hurt.
Get a crank.
That one never hurt. Come on, Psalms 89. That's good. You just wanted that one.
You are feared in the council of the holy ones. They all stand in awe of you. Yahuwah, Elohim Almighty, none is as mighty as you. In all the things you are faithful, Yahuwah. You rule over the powerful sea.
You rule over what?
You rule over the powerful sea.
What else?
You calm its angry waves.
You calm its angry waves.
You crushed the monster Rahab and killed it. With your mighty strength, you defeated your enemies.
You see how he say he calmed the mighty waves, did the Mashiach calm them waves before he walked on them? So there go another witness to go along with this, to why we know he walked on that water. But then also talking about calming the mighty waves. Stanley, give me Isaiah 57 and 19.
Isaiah 57 and 19. I create the fruit of the lips. Shalom, shalom to him that is far off, and to him that is near, saith the Elohim, and I will heal him.
Hold that. Darius, give me Acts 3 and 16. Acts 3 and 14. He say to those that are far off, he say shalom, shalom, and to those that are near too, right? Acts 3 and 14. And he say they'll heal you too, absolutely. Let's see if we see something go along with that.
He was holy and good, but you rejected him.
He say, you already said he Kadesh and good, but you rejected him. Are you rejecting him now? Come on.
And instead you asked Pilate to do the favor of turning loose a murderer.
Hold on. Pause for a second. He said they asked for a murderer. I don't care who answers. Who remembers? This was a while ago now. So, that's granted. Who can remember where we can go find in the Torah where it talk about not giving up a murderer and how that's transgression? And why Barnabas had to be there, or Barabbas had to be there, as far as being a murderer? Anybody recalls? Anybody recall? Any of y'all in here recall? Nobody.
Could it be Cain?
No, I'm talking about in the Torah. So you talking about from Genesis or Bereshit?
Definitely the Torah.
No, I'm talking about, but he didn't give up a murderer.
Oh, but did it say that?
Yeah, my bad. I heard to say that because they ain't what I
That's
want.
definitely the Torah.
They ain't what I
Genesis.
want.
What?
Well, I'm gonna tell y'all where to go look at. I want you to, on your own time, you go find you Numbers 35, right? And when you go find you Numbers 35, you'll see that thing about the revenge of blood. And you'll see this thing about like when you'll look in the first 15 and it'll tell you if you smite somebody with an instrument of iron, so he die, he is a murderer, you'll be put to death. When they hit him by shot with them nails, them instruments of iron, you commit sin, you crucify him, you ought to die. He said if you smite him with a throwing stone, they stoned him too, didn't they? He said if you smite him with a hand weapon of wood, they put him on a tree. He said the revenger of blood himself shall slay the murderer when he meet him. Let me drop down to what we actually came here for. When we looking about verse 30, whoso kill any person, the murderer shall be put to death by the mouth of witnesses, but one witness shall not testify more of. You shall take, here it is, verse 31, you shall take no satisfaction for the life of a murderer which is guilty of death, but he shall surely be put to death. You shall take no satisfaction for him that is fled to the city of refuge, that he should come again and dwell in the land until the death of the priest. So when them people called out for Barabbas being a murderer, they committed sin because they took satisfaction in the murderer. You know what I'm saying? So when you turn around and look at it, didn't we already read? See, I'm going to tie this into something else, right? He said don't take no satisfaction in the murder, right? Stanley, give me 1 John 3 and 8. He said, don't take no satisfaction in murder, right? What do we read in John 8 and 44? He said, you are of your father the devil, the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning. Don't take no satisfaction in no murder.
Said 1 John 3.
Matter of fact, don't even get that. Give me 1 Corinthians 13 and 6. Don't take no satisfaction in no. Don't you realize when you commit sin, you taking a satisfaction in a murderer? Don't you realize if you roll with sinners, you taking a satisfaction in a murderer? Now that's tight. That's hardcore right there, ain't it? That's your law though. That's your law though. Your law tell you don't take no satisfaction in no murder. We know he that commits sin is of the devil. He was a murderer from the beginning. He told you don't take no satisfaction in that. Troy, give me Romans 1 and 28. Come on, sir.
Rejoice not in iniquity.
What? Don't do what?
Rejoice not in iniquity.
Don't take no satisfaction in sin.
But rejoice in the truth.
Rejoice in the mashah. So if you rejoice in iniquity, you take satisfaction in a murder. You done committed sin. Come on.
Bear all things, believe all things, hope all things, endure all things.
See what it is? That's good right there. Believe all things, hope all things, and endure all things. Because if you believe all things and your hope is in the Father, then you will endure like a Mashiach endure. He that endures to the end, the same shall be saved. Romans 1 and 28, Troy. We on a roll today.
And even as they did not like to retain.
You ain't want to retain what?
Elohim in their knowledge.
You don't want to keep the word in your heart. What's going to happen?
Elohim gave them over to a reprobate mind.
What's going to happen after that once you turn reprobate?
To do those things which are not convenient.
You're going to commit all manner of sin. What the things they going to do?
Being filled with all unrighteousness.
All sin.
Fornication.
Fornication.
Wickedness.
Wickedness.
Covetousness.
Covetousness.
Maliciousness.
Whoa.
Envy.
Whoa.
Murder.
Whoa.
Debate.
Oh, they go murder. Go ahead.
Debate.
Go ahead.
Deceit.
Go ahead.
Malignity.
Go ahead.
Whispers.
Go ahead.
Backbiters and
Go
haters
ahead.
of Elohim.
And what else?
Despiteful. Proud. Boasters. Inventors of evil things and disobedient to
Don't you know the book say that's an abomination, a man who always devises wicked imaginations? Go ahead.
Without understanding.
Whoa! You see that there? Without that, we already talked about understanding. We got to understand that the son of Elohim is coming. You without understanding, you worthy of death. Come on.
Covenant breakers.
Whoa! No, hold on. He said a covenant breaker. So now we'll sit back and look at something. We done entered into the covenant. Well, see, when you get immersed in the Mashiach, you entered into the covenant. He said, "Cursed is all ye that obey not the words of this covenant." That means from this point on, you need to keep the man covenant. Don't break it. Don't break it. Come on. See, I'm going to tell you something before I say this here. Just because this got mentioned to me, so y'all know this here. You can't have no Christian mind frame. Getting dunked in that water is not going to save you. That's not going to save you. Obeying from the heart is what's going to save you. Obeying from the heart is what's going to save you. Go ahead, man.
Without natural affection.
No natural affection.
Implacable.
Implacable.
Unmerciful.
Unmerciful.
Who knowing the judgment of Elohim.
You know the judgment of Elohim. What they do?
That they which commit such things are worthy of death.
He said not only say that, he said they take pleasure in those who commit such things. You miss something now.
Not only do the same, but have pleasure in
there you go. Not only do they do the same, but they got pleasure in people who do them. Knowing you ought to die. Because you can't take no satisfaction in no murder.
Period.
Period. Don't you realize every sinner hit him with the throwing stone, hit him with the instrument of iron, and hit him with a weapon of wood. You know what I'm saying? So when you turn around and look at that, you can't take no satisfaction in anybody that's saying crucify, crucify. Anybody who's saying crucify, crucify is those who live in contrary to him. You can't take no satisfaction in that. Not be no Yahudim, you can't. Not be no Kadeshim, you can't. You know what I'm saying? Being a nigga, being a regular person, yeah, you can do it. But if you call by his name, you can't do that. You can't do it. The road is narrow. The gate is straight. And it's going to be few. That's why I keep telling y'all, man, everybody's not going to make it. You know what I'm saying? And they're not going to make it because the tighter it gets, the more restrictive it gets, the more people like this here. I'm going back. While you steady walking, thinking this person with you, and you turn back around, that nigga's gone. Each one of y'all in here know people who you would talk with and dealt with this here, and they gone. You know what I'm talking about? And they gone. Like, and you see, when they leave, that deterioration process is fast. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people come on and they ain't doing this from the heart. I can remember, man, the first couple of years I was doing this here, man, and people see me in the street and they ain't seen me in a while. Boy, you still dealing with the word? Yeah, nigga, what you mean? That's the first thing they ask. Because niggas hoping you been done fell off. Because most people know, man, everybody don't want to do it. When you, especially if you go to talking about like what it really says and what it really entails, it's not desirable. Because when you sit back and look at it, he said we fools for Hamashiach's sake. You know what I'm saying? It's not desirable. Sacrifice, afflictions, temptations, tribulations, death, that's not desirable. People want Jesus. Jesus is living up, have some fun. Joy, joy, joy. They don't sit back and tell you with much knowledge comes sorrow. They don't tell you that. You know what I'm saying? They don't tell you that. They don't tell you like, boy, it's a lot of affliction coming with this here, man. It's some correction coming with this here, man. It's some chastisement coming with this here, man. It's a beautiful thing. It's a joyful thing when you know and you can rejoice in all of these things because we have shalom and joy through it. But to those who don't really want to do it, then them niggas crazy. So they'll, you know what I'm saying? They'll play the role. Niggas will walk. I'm just telling you because I've been doing this about 3+ years, man, so I know. I've seen it happen too many times. You know what I'm saying? Too many times. Or people run from place to place looking for somebody. Once they done, it's the same way like this here. I put it to you like this here. You have a woman who was a whore. And she lived in, I'll keep it small. Girl I went to high school with was sleeping around, all around Inglewood. Got a horrible reputation. You know what she do? Transfer the manager. Don't nobody know you over there. You know what I'm talking about? Until you do what? Burn your reputation up over there, then you come back where you come from. You know what I'm saying? That's what most people do. Once they done committed all manner of evil over here, let me try to slide over here where don't nobody know me. They done messed around and came over here and burned up all that evil over here. Now everybody know how wicked I am. And then they just fall off because they can't deal with it. It happens like that. You know what I'm saying? This word here, man, you got to be real wise and real judicious. You know what I'm saying? Real judicious. Because boy, your enemy, the devil, is a roaring lion walking about as soon as he can devour. He comes in many shapes and sizes. He comes in a lot of different ways. Matter of fact, that I hit my head, that's going to tie to something I was talking about last night. Well, that's right. Finish this songs in it. We finish with songs in it. You want Acts 3? Finish that for me, sir.
Acts 3 verse 15. You killed the one who leads to life, but Elohim raised him from the dead. And we are witness to this. It was the power of his name that gave strength to this lame man. What you see and know was done by faith in his name. It was faith in Yahushua
this is one of the things that Pell been talking about.
That has made him well.
Hold on, this is one of the things Pell been talking about. I'm gonna tell you, I used to be walking around. I would have loved that y'all would have gave me the gift to heal people. Sometimes I be seeing people in them wheelchairs and stuff, I be feeling so bad for them. You know what I'm saying? But the reason why a lot of that stuff now, y'all give gifts as he see fit to give them. You know what I'm saying? But boy, you know, a lot of people, if somebody had the gift of healing, wouldn't nobody get healed because they don't believe. They don't believe. Because it's not just on the person who got the gift. The person who you trying to put the gift on got to believe it too. They got to believe it too. And when you sit back and look at it, the name of Yahushua is not being proclaimed in the earth. Even if they proclaim in Yeshua, it's not being proclaimed in the earth. Not in righteousness and truth to where a man will hear that name and believe. No, it ain't happening. These niggas don't even believe in Jesus. Come on, bro. Sit down, Lil.
What you see and know was done by faith in his name. It was faith in Yahushua that has made him well, as you can all see. And now, my friends, I know that what you and your leaders did to Yahushua was due to your ignorance. Elohim announced long ago through all the prophets that his Messiah had to suffer, and he made it come true in this way. Repent then and turn to Elohim so that he will forgive your sins. If you do 20 times of spiritual strength will come from Yahuwah. And he will send Yahushua, who is the Messiah he has already chosen. He was already chosen for you. He must remain in heaven until the time.
I think the verse I want is in Acts chapter 2. When he says, as many as Yahuwah Elohim shall call, near and far. That's what we use at what we got.
You had me in 3, I started in 3:14, and I started at 20. Yeah, I might sit back.
That's probably an Acts chapter 2 though. Acts 2 and 39. That's what I want. But that worked out well. What was you holding, Stanley?
Numbers 35.
Oh no, that was just me going to find that. What you got, Troy?
I had Isaiah 57.
Isaiah 57, what you got? That's what you got, Troy? Yeah, you good. So read that Acts 2 and 39 for me.
Acts 2 and 39. For Elohim's promise was made to you and your children, and to all who are afar off, all whom Yahuwah Elohim calls to himself.
That's just what Isaiah, read that Isaiah 57:19 again.
I create the fruit of the lips. Shalom, shalom to him that is far off, and to him that is
Don't you realize
near.
when he telling you a Mashiach coming to you, to him that far off, and near, this man telling you to come to his son, no matter where you be. Come on. Come on, Sam.
And says you Elohim, and I will heal him. But the wicked are like the troubled sea.
They like the what?
Troubled sea.
What happened to them?
When it cannot rest, whose waters cast up mire and dirt. There is no peace, said my Elohim to the wicked.
Ain't no peace for the wicked. They ain't got no rest. They ain't got no God. They ain't got no power. So when we turn around and look at that, we tie into that to what we were talking about last night. Y'all good? We ain't got it. One of the things we were looking at last night, right? Y'all remember what we looked at in Numbers chapter 11 last night? Because I didn't go into great detail. I told Pale about it after we got finished. We were looking at Numbers chapter 11, right? But hold, one of y'all can get me Matthew 16 and 20 though. It don't matter who. Somebody just get me Matthew 16 and 20. Because I touched on something, but I ain't go into it like I could have went into it.
You ready?
Go ahead.
Then charged he his disciples that they should tell no man that he was Yahushua the Hamashiach. From that time forth began Yahushua to show unto his disciples how that he must go into Jerusalem and suffer many things of the elders and chief priests and scribes and be killed and be raised again the third day.
And what happened?
Then Peter took him and began to rebuke him, saying, Be it far from thee, Master, this shall not be done unto thee.
And what did he say?
But he turned and said unto Peter, Get thee behind me, Satan.
Why is that?
Thou art an offense unto me.
Why is he an offense?
For thou sayest not the things that be of Yahuwah, but that be of men.
Stop. So when we looked at Numbers chapter 11 last night, right? And the people were crying out for flesh. And they were thinking about when they left Mizraim and the flesh that they had there. And they say the only thing we got before us is this manna. We're sick of this manna. We don't want this manna. Give us flesh. Because they were thinking about the things that they liked and enjoyed in the past. What that was really showing you is that your ancestors came up out of there and they desired the things that were of man and not the things that were of Elohim. Because the manna was called what? Malachim's bread. That was the bread that came from Shamahim. That was the things that came from Elohim. They looked at the manna and they despised it. Because they desired the things that were of man. See, when they were crying out for their flesh, they were crying out for the things that came from Mizraim. They wanted the things that were of the flesh, the things that were of man. That wasn't an offense to them. Why do you think Yahuwah was so hot? Why do you think he turned around and said, I'm going to give you flesh till it's loathsome to you, till it come out your nostrils? And then turned around and killed them. Because they were wicked. They didn't have no rest. They were mire, they were dirt, they were tossed to and fro. You can never have shalom when your heart's not right with y'all. You can never. But the whole purpose of what I'm talking about is pretty much everything we've been looking at all this afternoon. You cannot desire the things that are of man. You got to desire the things that are of Elohim. Because if you be like your ancestors who had the manna, which would be representative of Mashiach, they despised that. And they wanted the dainties of the wicked one. That's what they wanted. That's what they wanted. And you got to sit back and look at it. Do you want the things of the Ruach? Or do you want the things of the flesh? So praise ye y'all for Yahushua HaMashiach in the word. I appreciate everybody this afternoon. I'm going to go on to something, man. You just ain't got to put it on tape. You can cut it now.